Drivers, start your engines!
Be plenty of carnage, so full head on them, wound up. Yeehaw, boys. Holy. It's a junkyard. There's too much time hitting people. Chill a second. No gas, gotta hang top here. Going overdrive. Just let me do my job. 10 times. I don't care if I wreck the whole field. I'm over him. He's just a moron. That was an absolute bullshit. Not clear. Awesome. I tell you, Mama ain't raising no. What the f*** are we doing out here? People are saying, just racing like idiots. I don't care. Just let me drive. What is he doing? This is embarrassing. What a clown show.
Did you ever think you would see that?
How the f*** did that just happen? Holy cow! Let's go!
Hey everyone, and welcome to NWP on DannyBTalks, joined by my lovely co-hosts, as always, the Iceberg, Jarrett Lundberg, and Eric Eastep. Eric's on. Nope, looking wrong. Hey, Eric, there you are.
I think we inverted it.
Yep. Guys, I have some awesome news to share with everyone. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
I am officially in the NASCAR All-Star race. Eric, you are in the NASCAR All-Star race. Jarrett, you are in the NASCAR All-Star race. Chat, you are in the NASCAR All-Star race. Everyone is in the NASCAR All-Star race this year.
Well, the first 150 laps, at least.
Do you think we can get a Starton Parker in? Just saying. We can get in. We just got to get that proper funding. You know, we got a few super chats. We're only like, I don't know, $999,950 away.
I'll tell you who would be in the All-Star race, no matter the format. That's Tyler Reddick, because he just won back-to-back races to start the season. He picks up his second win in a row, won the Daytona 500, and then he won the All-Star race. Eric, do you know anyone who last did that by chance?
Just a little man by the name of Matt the Brat Kenseth. Though I the more I keep thinking of that stat, and I love that his name keeps getting thrown around. But wasn't that season, Jarrett?
It's the only Kenseth car I had on hand.
Weird. It's a good one, at least.
Who actually has a 2009 Matt Kenseth diecast? I don't know many people.
I do. It's in the closet and what I was going to say is because as great as it was that Kenseth won the first two races,
a bad season.
It was arguably his worst Cup season ever because he finished, I think, 14th in points and missed the chase, which he never did. So, it's hopefully that doesn't happen to Tyler Reddick this year.
You know, what's interesting is if they had the 12 race, obviously we're doing what ifs here, but if they had the 12-man chase, but with the added percentage of win points bonus, he would have made it in, though.
Probably. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
So
never late, just early.
Still pretty important. Still pretty important with wins. I mean, 2 in a row to start the year, though, and 23-11 being 1-2, man. Like, that is exactly what the doctor ordered for both of those drivers.
Definitely. But I gotta say, I think Bubba made the dumbest move he could have possibly made at the end of that race. I don't know what he was thinking, because the second he separated from his teammate, he had no shot at all.
Yeah, he left himself very vulnerable to exactly what Carson Hocevar did. Yeah, I'm sure in hindsight.
I really felt like Reddick was content of just helping Bubba win.
I asked Reddick when I talked to him Monday, and he said, no, the plan was just push Bubba until maybe both of us were clear. I think the idea was maybe off of 4 on the final lap, he would have made a move, but he wasn't going to leave Bubba until the very end, if possible. So, yeah, I think Bubba just a little over aggressive. When talking to Reddick, he kind of made a point that, like, if maybe he'd been hugged a little tighter to the outside line, maybe Hocevar wouldn't have had the space to go middle 3 wide. Like, so Reddick even put a little bit of that on his shoulders, which I don't know is that fair. I think at the end of the day, Bubba just swung way too wide, too quick. But yeah, there are a number of ways that could have still worked for Bubba Wallace. That was just the one outcome that didn't. So definitely disappointing. But like you said, Jarrett, they're 1-2 in points, so things could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
Well, and we've talked about it so many times with different drivers that, are always on the verge of getting that first win or breaking a winless streak. It's like, as long as you keep putting yourself in position to win, eventually the doors open for you. Eventually you have the opportunity. And that is a clear case of it right there, where it's like, hey, I'm content being second. Door opens up. There you go right there. But still, I mean, Bubba Wallace having that good of a start early on, I get it's 2 super speedways. But I push back on what a lot of people say of like, it's too early to talk about points, because we're like 2 wild cards like this shake stuff out. That is going to basically pave the way for how you go about probably the next 10 or so races to where you actually pan out.
It's probably too early to panic, but I would agree with you that it's not too early to look at the standings. It's like on the flip side of, like, Reddick has like a 40-point lead over Wallace over the rest of the field. But then on the flip side, like Connor Zilic, man, the rookie season from hell, he is last among full-time drivers. And like, I mean, some of that is just kind of bad breaks. I mean, the Daytona wreck was a little on him, I guess, but I don't know, that it's tough. But you're right. Like, I think it's not too early to look at points. Yeah. It's a little too early to panic, if you ask me, for most guys. Right. Maybe not for everyone. I mean, I don't even have the points pulled up in front of me, but maybe there's some guys like, I mean, where's Cindric right now? He's like 26th or 27th, 26th.
26th.
Ty Gibbs at 33rd, Alex Bowman 32nd. Those are 2 bubble drivers that they've used kind of their mulligans, I feel like. So
I will say somebody I'm a little concerned about, not panicked, but concerned about, and he needs a good run this weekend because I think he left way too many points out there, is Kyle Busch. 24th, already 9 points out. We were expecting him to run towards the front in both of these races. Does not get the finishes needed. I mean, he's I guess this might panic Kyle Busch fans. He's behind Briley Herbst in points.
Yep.
Again, too early to panic. I agree with that. And I honestly, I wouldn't panic about anyone, regardless of how far down they are, till probably honestly after Talladega. Because like, if you have 3 wild card races, eventually you got to strike decently on one of them. So there is that side of it. But
I just want to say one thing right now. Colleague Racing, both cars are 1 and 2 points behind the cutoff to make the chase right now. Both Ty Dillon and AJ Allmendinger are 17th and 18th right now.
That's a good track for AJ coming up, but I don't think that will last. As soon as we go to intermediates, they will be.
But likewise, right there, SVG has himself positioned very nicely, especially if he is, a heavy favorite to win this weekend.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of guys in good spots, some in bad, but Tyler Reddick, I mean, not to gloss over Tyler Reddick again. He's just 2 wins in a row after going winless last season. I mean, I think now the question is like, okay, like they won the regular season title 2 years ago. I think now are they the favorite to do it this year? They've got a 40-point advantage. Like I'd say, yes, they probably are the favorites to get the 1 seed. And I think when the chase begins, you need to be a top 4 or 5 seed to have a realistic shot at the title. And if you're the 1 seed, that's a huge advantage.
And I really do like where there's a few guys that really stand out in this list. One, Tyler Reddick and Bubba, because those guys are going to hopefully still have the right equipment at some of these next few tracks we have coming up. But Chase Elliott as well. He has won at Circuit of the Americas. He's won a decent amount of the tracks that we have on the schedule. He's sitting there in 3rd. Then we have, guys who, we're going to see what the equipment brings in this. Carson Hocevar and Zane Smith right there. Where are they gonna fall off at as we progress here a little bit? But then there's Joey Logano. He dropped 4 spots after last week, but he is still someone who I would definitely watch for him in these next few weeks.
And Daniel Suarez, 7th in points, another top 10 at Atlanta. He's like a lock to get a top 10 at New Atlanta almost every time they go there.
Right.
No, I think Zane Smith, certainly, shout out to Zane, back-to-back top 10s to start the year. I mean, not to regurgitate his career, but it's been a roller coaster ride, bouncing between teams. He's won a truck championship, then was out of a ride, then was with Trackhouse / Spire, then out of a ride. And then he's now back with Front Row, but they suck. But now they're off to a hot start. Oh, lawsuit last year. Now that's the thing. So to see Zane Smith start the year strong, like we know I've said it for years. He's the most talented driver at Front Row Motorsports back when it was like it felt like they had to choose between him or Todd Gilliland. I was like, I mean, I like Todd, but Zane's the better driver. Now they've got both, and they seem to be reaping the rewards, at least early this year. So hopefully he's not going to make the chase. I don't think Zane Smith's making the chase, but if he can have like a top 20, top 21, 22 point season, that's a huge step up from where they were last year. So good start for Zane.
Here's something I want to stress real quick before we move on to a different topic here. How important stage points truly are this year.
Yep.
Right now you have Ryan Blaney. He has the most stage points at 30, and he is sitting 8th. He actually gained 2 spots after this weekend. You have Bubba Wallace has 29 stage points, and of course that's got him sitting in 2nd right now. And even Carson Hocevar, he has 21 stage points this year, and that's a big contributing factor to why he's in 4th place in the standings right now. So that's something that we got to keep watching. And although at first, when I knew we were going away from this, I wasn't sure if I still wanted the stages. But now that I see it playing out, being an important factor like that, I think stages may be more entertaining in this system than they really ever were in the previous system.
God, I'm looking through because I have a Excel sheet on my end with like all the important stats, and looking at the breakdown of stage points compared to how many points different guys have. And it's crazy the difference in like where they are finish wise versus stage wise. So like Cindric, of course, 19 of his 34 points scored this year are stage points. Reddick, 15 of his 125 points this year are stage points. So it's just, and again, super speedways, I totally get that it's not indicative of the whole season. But like I was saying, and I was getting into arguments on X about this, like those points are going to add up, and good runs add up and stack up. So do bad runs. Somebody who's at either end of that pendulum is Carson Hocevar. Sometimes in the same race.
Mm-hmm.
Carson Hocevar has had, I'm going to say this, he has had arguably the best car, or let me put it this way, has had winning speed in every race this season. I think he was the best car at the Clash. He was top 5 in the dry, top 5 in the wet, got wrecked for a change. It wasn't his fault, and didn't get a good finish there. Leading on the final lap of the Daytona 500, coming to the white flag at Atlanta, finished 2nd in his Daytona duel. Like there's an argument to be made. Hocevar is this close to winning everything this year, but it's always just something here, something there. Sometimes it's his fault. Sometimes it's not, has taken him out, but the speed has been eye-opening. And if that can continue, they are definitely going to win a race this year at some point or another. Not with 3 wide middle restart moves though. I don't think that's a high percentage move. And hopefully Hocevar has learned that. I don't know what y'all thought of that incident.
I thought that was one of the dumbest moves he's made.
Wow.
That's what I love. I love the guy. I think he's going to be great. I think if he keeps this kind of momentum going into the season with how much speed he had at early season tracks last year, he could have a win or two this year. I believe in the Hurricane. The issue is the Hurricane can cause a path of destruction too at times. And I saw that as one of the most low percentage moves he could make. If there was really the hole there, it would be genius. But like he ran into Reddick before he even got there.
Thank you. Yes.
Fell.
Yeah.
It's like you got to think through these things.
I have a guy that I talk to on Twitter a lot. He's a Georgia Bulldogs fan, but he and I talk about both of our college football teams. And he also admits that he used to follow NASCAR a lot back in the day. And he actually grew up in Dawsonville. Actually, him and his family knew the Elliott's a little bit growing up, he told me. But one thing that I always think is interesting, how you'll just have a conversation with somebody, and he asked me my opinion, what did I think of Hocevar? And I told him straight up, I was like, right now, my favorite is Alex Bowman, but the second that he doesn't have a cup car, it's probably Hocevar, just because I'm becoming a fan of his style. And he and I both agreed he is in a lot of ways very much like a Dale Earnhardt. He's not afraid to make an enemy, to have a good race, and even saw a clip of Richard Petty even admitting that he was a lot like Earnhardt. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is really up to your perspective on it. A lot of people hated Dale Earnhardt. We look back on him, fondly since, we don't have him no more, but a lot of people hated Dale Earnhardt back in the day.
I think it's a little, I get where those comparisons are coming from, and who am I to disagree with Richard Petty, who saw and raced against Dale Earnhardt. But
we're only in year 3 of the kid. I mean, we can't really say too much of him right now.
That's why I think it's a little early to make those comparisons, only because he hasn't won anything. He's won what, like 4 truck races? But like,
something like that.
4 or 5, maybe he has 5. Like he's never won. I don't think he has any O'Reilly wins. He's made very few starts. No wins in the second series. No wins in the Cup. So he's got to win something first. Like one of these, like when Dale Earnhardt rattled someone's cage, he won the race. When Carson Hocevar wrecked Corey Heim at Phoenix, he had a meltdown and lost. I like Carson too.
I'll say I think our talent he's against is better than the talent pool that Earnhardt had when he was getting started. I'll say
Probably.
it like that.
See, I just want to say I like Carson Hocevar, and I think it's easy to be a fan of him because he's funny, he's relatable, he's unapologetically himself, and I think that's refreshing. I want him to win. I picked him to make the chase this year. I think if he just if he just picks his spots a little bit better, that win is going to come with the speed they have.
See, I think until he wins more, I liken him more, at least not personality, but driver wise, more to a Jimmy Spencer than a Dale Earnhardt. Like you got to stack up the wins. And Mr. Excitement was a good driver. Don't get me wrong. Look what he did, especially like in the lead up to his NASCAR career on top of the equipment he was in, all that. But I want to see him get over the hump because, right now for probably the next year or so, these kind of moves are going to be fun. It's going to be almost endearing if these moves keep going without the wins. Hell, I mean, even the comparisons to Ross, at least Ross won. Carson's got to get these wins start stacked up. And he's had the speed at half a dozen tracks that we're going to see before even July in the last year.
To be fair about Ross, look at what age Ross was when he was getting his top opportunities, when he could become a winner. Bit. I think not just a win. I think wins are coming for Carson Hocevar. It's just a matter of when at this point. Spire has been making moves, and I think they're only going to continue to invest. They're getting great partners involved with the team. They have made probably a faster track than any recent team that we've seen go from, what they were when we first seen Spire Motorsports to where they are today. I'm looking forward to seeing how that progresses. And even this weekend, looking at Carson's average finish at the tracks, this week at COTA, he's got a 17.5 average finish there, average start of 11. So if he can qualify well, expect that to, play off well for him this weekend. His best finish was 13th. I'm not looking at specific dates. I don't know if that was last year or the year before, but he's only made 2 starts there. If he can improve and come out with a top 10, I mean, he's going to set himself up very nicely because after that, we go into some tracks where I feel like we can see truly, okay, what kind of team, what kind of car is Spire going to give him? Because I felt like a lot of times last year we'd see him with speed, but they didn't have a car that could finish the race. If they can get Carson some equipment that's going to last and still carry the same speed, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Carson Hocevar this year.
Somebody that I saw some people getting a little flack for comparing Hocevar to, but I think it's kind of an apt comparison with the volatility at times, is Kyle Larson for very different reasons. But Kyle Larson, he has a much higher ceiling, but there are times where he has a floor that's very similar when it comes to moves he makes out there. And Atlanta, I'll say this. I thought the Hendrick team overall as a team had the best speed in this race. But
yeah, I agree. I thought the 9, the 24, not to put them on, but I think everyone but the 48 led laps and was in contention at some point or another. But Larson had
48 just had he didn't get to qualify, so he was always behind the 8 ball starting in the back anyway. So
Larson clearing himself off the nose of SVG was certainly one of the low lights. It was.
I'm glad he didn't hide that was his mistake. Yeah, I'm glad he didn't hide that.
And I think that's why a lot of people like Kyle Larson. He doesn't make a lot of excuses. When he messes up, he's usually like, yeah, I messed up. Usually. Maybe there's examples where he hasn't. I'm sure there are. But usually he's quick to be like, stepped on it. My bad. I want to ask you all this real quick because we were talking about points a second ago. Kyle Larson, they're going to make the chase. That's a given. Yeah. but their goal is regular season championship. He is 83 points behind Tyler Reddick right now. 24 more races. Again, wins pay more, so you can eat some of those points up pretty quick. Do y'all think he beats Reddick? Not even wins the title, but do you think Larson finishes the regular season ahead of Tyler Reddick? What do y'all think?
Yes, I think Reddick goes back to more of the mean. Like, he's not going to win every race.
Well, yes.
The issue for me with Larson is just you've already put yourself in a hole against people you're going to compete against. Chase Elliott, way up there. Blaney has a good amount of points and is up there. Byron is ahead of him. Hell, people are going to count him out, but Joey Logano's a pretty damn good driver, and he's up there now. There's a lot of good competitors that they put themselves behind, and he gave up 7 stage points there, possibly, and who knows how many others. Those will make a difference. I know that he missed a race when he lost the regular season title by a point, but a point matters, and they matter even more now.
They've got time, and we've got a swing of amazing tracks for Kyle Larson coming up. You got Phoenix, you got Las Vegas, you got Darlington, Martinsville, Bristol. Which one is this? Kansas. We're all in that order. And how many of those do you think Larson could possibly win? Probably almost all of them.
Win almost a year.
No, that's
it's been a minute. I mean, that's why I asked the question.
I think he's going to get his fair share of wins this year. Don't get me wrong, but until you break through that first one, it's like it's not as set in stone. Like, oh yeah, Larson, he'll get 4 or 5 wins. He might rattle off 2 or 3 in a 5-week span. Like that's just where I worry with it. We are so close with this car. All of the top guys, we saw it last year, that it was 7 or so drivers that were within a race up until a few races before Daytona. So it's like these mistakes, kind of taking a withdrawal out early on your mulligans, that adds up if he has a slump at some point. And again, I'm kind of with Denny Hamlin. I think it's like probably top 3, maybe 4. Because if you lose the regular season title by a point, that's a 25-point swing from 1 point you missed out on during the season. 35 points from first to third. So it's like, yeah, it might seem small in the moment, but it could be a huge deal in September, October, and of course, November.
Give the chat a little fun poll here. Ask him, how many wins does Kyle Larson get before the chase? 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 5, or 6+?
Oh man,
6
I'm like,
plus would be like, it's so hard to say because you haven't seen these drivers and teams at intermediate tracks yet. It's like these first 2, even the Clash, are so weird. It's like maybe after Vegas, because we do, is it Phoenix and then Vegas? I think.
Yep.
Like after Vegas, I'll start to have a feel for it. But like, I don't know, even last year, Josh Berry was amazing at Phoenix and Vegas, I remember, and then he was kind of cheeks the rest of the year.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see.
I will say though, talking Atlanta at large, I don't think it's the best track in NASCAR still, but it is damn close. If it's not, like, to me, it's like that one, Kansas, and Charlotte for me, and they're all. It depends on how good after the race I feel, I guess.
I throw Homestead in there,
yeah.
and on a good day, Darlington has that
style track. I'll say that.
Yes,
oh yeah,
I think that's for sure.
Yeah,
I'd argue it's the best drafting track of our lifetime. I don't know. Like I'd have to go back to Daytona 15, 16 years ago, how much handling really mattered. But I just love how, I don't know, I just feel like you could really wheel the car and do things on your own here. And
wish I could just go back in time and tell Bill France, hey, you're making it too big, 1.5 miles. That's the only way it needs to be. Give it that banking, but that's too big.
Yeah, I won't go as far to say best in my lifetime, but I will say it is on par to me.
And I just like that the wrecks, even the big wrecks, it's like takes out 2 or 3 cars usually.
Yeah.
Like there's the field is spaced out just enough that it feels. I guess I say that, and I know last summer there was like a 15-car wreck, but that's like the one. We've had 8 races, 9 races here now, and there's been one huge one. I feel like there's a huge one almost every Daytona race. And so I don't know. I like that it feels like the teams and the drivers are very much in control, handling. Like at the end of the race, Reddick was missing a front fender. Everyone made a big deal out of that. And that certainly hurt the aero of his car. But people forget he had the freshest tires of the leaders at the end there as well. And if you look on that last lap, all the guys behind him wash up in the center of the corner because no one's lifting. So everyone's just but they didn't have the grip. And so they drifted up the track. So Reddick held the bottom and drove off. So it's just, that's cool.
That's part of my theory to why he was handling so good too, is I think it was probably that tire was also getting cooled off because of the air being put onto it too. So the aero disadvantage was made up for by the grip advantage that he had on top of having better tires to begin with. Every little bit with this car matters. And especially with the way that handling is at Atlanta. So that car probably handled way better, even if it was probably a little bit slower on its own. That's my theory to maybe how that helped him more than anything. If he were leading on the last lap, I think somebody would have blown right by him, no problem. But yeah, I mean, I can't think of an Atlanta race we've watched that I've thought that absolutely was terrible the way I have Daytona and Talladega, or even honestly, even if I wasn't a big fan the first year that this was the configuration, I still didn't think it was a bad race or even that mediocre. I still thought it was a decent race. So it's like, if the floor right now is decent or good, like, damn, that's better than 90% of other tracks can say.
That's the thing. Yeah. It hasn't had a bad race yet. That's the thing. Even like Kansas has now had a race or two where you're like, yeah, but it was okay. It was okay. Atlanta's, they've all been good to great. So, I mean, it's maybe the most consistent track. That's what I'd give. I'd give it's the most consistent track. I wish I could say that about Bristol. Bristol's like the opposite. We've had stinkers and then we've had overwhelming, like crazy races. Like, so at least Atlanta, you know what you're going to get, and what you're going to get is really good right now.
What, Danny, what did we get in the ratings?
We actually did fairly decent. We actually got some updates here. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Daytona 500 ratings the last show we had, did we?
Nope.
Daytona 500 got 7.489 million viewers, which is up 11% from the 2025 Daytona 500. So everyone clap for a win.
Take it.
The race peaked at 9.154 million viewers at the finish, and it says it was down 8.4% from the last non-delayed Daytona 500, which was 2023, but it was moved back an hour.
Yeah, so they'd said it was probably about a 5 to 6% difference in what the ratings would have been if they were able to get that prime time side of it. So it probably would have been closer for silver linings.
As for this week in Atlanta got 4.487 million viewers. It is down, but it's only down 2% from 2025. So that's not a huge number to be overly concerned about. The Atlanta O'Reilly Series race got 1.366 million viewers and is up 5% from 2025. That is amazing to see for the O'Reilly Series. It peaked at 1.8 million viewers, and it is the most watched Atlanta O'Reilly Series race in 10 years.
Wow. Cool.
And last week was about a tie with a 10-year high for Daytona. So,
and little note here, Fox Sports has pledged to do double box ads only for green flag commercials, meaning we're going to get to see the race and the commercials while we're on Fox.
That's pretty cool.
It's and I get we'll probably have more ads and people are going to be upset with that, but that's a step above what NBC and TNT have done so far.
Yep.
So I will take literally any possible improvements I can out of Fox at this point. Like, the bar is that low,
which
we're raising it little by little.
I don't know why it took a minute to get this going, because I swear I remember going to a commercial, tend to go in a dual race, but I guess a dual was different.
I'll take being able to see every lap of Daytona and Atlanta over the dual.
Yeah. But it's one thing to know how the views were But there's really only one true metric to understand how this race was, and that's Jarrett's pole.
Pole. Yeah, what did we get, Danny? I think I put it in there.
Yep. At 13,000 people took time out of their busy schedule to vote in Jarrett's poll. 68% of those people said it was a great race. 26% of people said it was a good race, meaning this race got a 94% net positivity rating. But somehow, some way, 4% of people sat down on their couch and just said, meh, that was an average race. 2% of people said that was just the nastiest, worst, disgusting, vile thing they ever put on their television screens and said it was a negative race.
Well, and I have some more numbers for you there. This is second out of the 12 polled Atlanta races. That includes also the old configuration. It's second of 38 super speedway races polled as well when it comes to highest positivity rating. And it is fifth out of all 261 races ever polled, only beat by Atlanta in 2024 spring race, Kansas 2024 spring race, and 2019 Bristol night race. It tied last year's Kansas fall race for positivity, and it is now the third Atlanta race to join the 24 that have been pulled out of 261 that are 90% or higher. So people were pretty damn happy with this race, all things considered. Spencer had the first comment, and I swear I'm going to get it right this week. Positive, negative, meme, or mix. I got it right this time.
It's a meme.
Positive.
SVG all day, spins out twice, finishes in the top 10 like nothing happened. That was a pretty damn good run by him.
Yeah.
Career best oval finish in the Cup Series.
We ran top 10 pretty much all day. He wasn't backwards.
But I mean, you should when you're in a Trackhouse car. I mean, they got Daniel Suarez to win.
The purple one was even up there too. I don't know if you saw that thing with Joey Logano.
The purple one.
That's a hideous
car.
car.
Call him Barney the Dinosaur, the purple one.
What happened, man? The Tootsie's cars had so much aura. What was that? What did they do this year?
Wait, here you go. Barney the Dinosaur, Connor Zillish. Connor is a race car driver.
That was not on my my bingo card.
I was not expecting a Barney.
You know what also wasn't on my bingo card, Jarrett? Sheldon Creed won a race.
Well, I mean, hey, I still got the comments here.
What a transition.
It was a great transition, but we jumped false start. Podcast host number 1. I don't know. We have numbers. SMCS.
I wasn't going to let that go to waste. There it is.
That was pretty damn good one, though. SMCS Racing Network said that's absolutely peak racing from a super speedway perspective. Christian said this is the closest thing we have to 2000s Dega and Daytona, and that's why it's currently the best track on the schedule. The Dirty Bubble even took out time to comment, saying the whole weekend at Atlanta has been a thriller. Let's see, John here saying, I gave 1 great race rating last year, 2 for 2 this year. Very positive. Wow. And Dunkachino said, if you don't like how Hocevar races, you wouldn't have liked Dale.
Exactly.
The name of Dale has been invoked by many this week. DJ Midnight is our gutter comment, saying NASCAR is a dead sport. This is the artificial scripted sports entertainment circus no one asked for. Long live IndyCar. Carson, is this your burner?
It has to be. It has to be.
I kid.
We kid because we care.
We good because we care. You know, my hair doesn't move in here. I don't know why he turned into Elvis or all of a sudden, but that was the poll. I don't know if we have a
Creed one.
Speaking of Barney the Dinosaur,
and since Creed won, I'm gonna crack open a Coors.
What does that have to do with Sheldon Creed?
I don't get the context.
In his interview, he said, "I'm gonna go home and crack open a few Coors."
Oh,
I'm sure NASCAR loved that, considering that is like the one beer not remotely invested in NASCAR anymore. That's
it was at one point. I remember they had the Coors Light Pole Award after Budweiser.
Yeah, I guess that wasn't that long ago. The Accords has only been gone a few years, so
I'm realizing I dropped some on my shirt.
Leave it to NASCAR drivers to just randomly plug beer companies that aren't in the sport. You got Sheldon Creed opened up some Coors, and then you had, of course, Ben Rhodes and his old pal Bud.
Well, and then if you plug ones that aren't in the sport too, you had Butterbean with Waffle House.
Yeah,
that was ARCA though, I think. So
it was ARCA,
but I never thought we'd see the day. He went higher.
Sheldon Creed.
I think I'm glad I'm not the only person that thought of him in that moment.
Oh yeah, Adam Alexander did a great job calling them across line. His like voice cracking, the emotion.
Yeah,
but it didn't hit the same as a Vince Welch squeaking out a Creed into the mic.
Hill around, Creed in the lead.
Oh, so good. Someone needs to like AI voice Vince Welch calling Sheldon Creed across the line.
We have the technology.
That's the one use of AI I will condone. No, congrats to Sheldon Creed. I mean, that's huge. He's put himself in position so many times. 15 runner-up finishes. And I'd argue some of his closest calls weren't even second place. Like it was Darlington a couple of years ago. I don't even think he finished second, but he had like the best long run car, beat a lot of cup guys, and then lost it late on a pit cycle restart, what have you. So to see him finally come through and have something bounce his way for a change. Austin Hill throwing a block on Ross Chastain, aggressive. Creed scoots by. And that was just cool. It was really, really cool to see. Congrats. And I feel like now that he's got one, I would not be shocked if there's another win.
Band-Aid is off.
Yeah.
What kind of monster have we just unleashed on the sport of NASCAR, everybody? And I love that it took the sport's two most loose cannons going at it at the front to finally get Sheldon Creed that win. And that visual, Austin Hill came to victory lane to congratulate his old teammate that he historically had a bitter falling out with at the end of their time at RCR. That was just a perfect bow on top of the present, if you will.
Well, and I gotta say with Creed, the interesting part of this is that while there are guys I think that we favor in this series, I don't think there's a clear-cut guy. Not like years past where it was like, oh, Noah Gragson, or oh, Ty Gibbs, oh, Connor Zilich. Like, and you can go even further back with like Briscoe and others like it. There is not that guy, at least yet, that maybe they'll emerge, that's going to go out there and probably win, 5 or 6 races, especially with the cup influence that we're going to have with more leaching this year. So, I mean, I don't see any reason why he can't be competitive for the big prize this year. Like, who are the guys that we talked about before the season being up there? Like Jesse Love, I think will be good, but like
Jesse Love.
Truthfully, I think it could be Austin Hill's year to finally win a championship.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's wide open. There's because with no Nick Sanchez, he's not in like a top ride.
Raj's situation is going to be interesting, being in such a good car of the '88, but he's not in it the whole time.
Yeah, that's
the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's so wide open for the drivers' championship. Like, why not Creed? He's in the mix. He's never really been that close in the past, which is why it's been kind of frustrating to watch. It's like, has so much potential. He won a truck title. Remember, he did win a truck championship. But this feels like the year. This is the year for the Sam Mayers, the Sheldon Creeds, the Austin Hills to finally break through.
The Brandon Jones, I think he's going to have a time where he's going to come together. Taylor Gray, he's sitting there in 11th, and I expect we can see some good things of Taylor Gray this season. Somebody who got little controversy behind him, but he's in 8th place in the standings right now is Corey Day. He gained 16 spots this weekend.
Is Corey Day going to win the championship, Jarrett?
No. I have at least like eye test and data to prove to myself that like Taylor Gray is somebody I can beat the drum for of being underrated. But with Corey Day, man, I believe there's the talent there. I don't think Kyle Larson and Rick Hendrick would say as much as they have, and Jeff Gordon, if there wasn't. and he's young, and he's like 14 starts in. So I'm not immediately going to go bust and say any of that because it's too early to say that. But man, it just seems like in a lot of these situations, he is still way in over his head, like even compared to other people of similar or even lesser experience in this series. Like compare him to the other Hendrick car of Raja Karuth, and one of them looks like they've been racing in this series for a few years, and one of them looks like it's still their first start. Like that's how it felt to me.
Yeah, no, I think perfectly well said. I have very little to add. Like Daytona spun out by himself. Then I was at least partially responsible for 2 wrecks up front in the O'Reilly race at Atlanta. Like he just, he ended last year with a couple of pretty good runs. And I thought, okay, it's starting to click. And maybe it's still, these are super speedways. This is so outside of the box he's used to racing in. So we'll see. Like you said, I think you said perfectly. I don't really have anything to add. Like he's young. He's not shown us much yet to get excited over, but obviously on dirt, he's phenomenal. We've seen dirt racers like Larson, like Bell translate. Reddick is mostly recently. So I'll give him some time, but gosh, it is. I hope he figures it out sooner rather than later, because it's hard watching a Hendrick car be the issue. You know what I mean? Like there's so many talented drivers that are licking their chops. Like should be me in that seat. This guy really? So and there's pressure there. Pressure to perform.
That there is a lot of similarities draw between him and Kyle Larson, mainly the background. But here's the thing. Larson didn't start off being amazing right off the bat. What did he have to start off with? Turner Scott Motorsports. That's what he started with.
He was in the 32 for a little while.
And then it led to Ganassi.
Didn't he challenge, like, was it with that one that he like challenged Kyle Busch for a O'Reilly win at Bristol?
That's early on. But that's the thing.
He was in a Snickers car or something like that, I think.
Kyle Busch or
Busch no Larson. I think he was in a Snickers 32 car.
He might have been. It's been so damn long.
He had that in a Clorox car.
That might have been the one that he actually was in, because
the Clorox car is the one he took into the fence at Daytona. It was
2014. I want to
2013 at Bristol. He finished second to Kyle Busch while driving the 32.
Damn. Wow.
Beat Kevin Harvick, Chris Buescher, Justin Allgaier, Austin Dillon, Alex Bowman, Brad Keselowski.
I just looked
at Alex Bowman in that era, though. He was in a junk car.
Yeah, he was. He was in Bowman was in the 99. So
I just looked it up. Yeah, Kyle Larson was in a 32 Snickers Bites car.
Damn, you got better memory than me, man.
That's the biggest Snickers logo I've ever seen on a race car, actually.
Oh God, it would have. We don't need to move the number for brand activation. We're fine. Speaking of a 32 car, how about Ross Chastain in that finish with Austin Hill? What do we think of that? I thought
he's everyone's hero on Twitter, apparently.
I thought he just stood his ground. Like,
the
nose was there. You're going for the win. And when Austin Hill is like typical Ross things, I'm just thinking, buddy, he's chilled out in the last couple of years. You're the one that we would be thinking typical Austin move kind of thing. But hey, they're going to meet each other again a few times this year, so maybe they'll get revenge or a back and forth. I'd have plenty of fun with that.
In the end, Austin Hill still comes out the O'Reilly Series points leader, so nothing much to be too mad about.
Yeah, and he's got a pretty decent lead at that. So he should be fine.
112 laps this season. That's most laps of anyone. And thus, that's a big reason why he has 24 stage points that have helped bump him up to 104 points for the season.
Jeez. How about that truck race, though, too? This is the first weekend. All 3 races were really damn awesome.
Yeah.
I know Cheddar's has a promotion that if Kyle Busch can win a race, they will give a free entree of their chicken tenders meal. Can we just start counting the truck races, Cheddar's? I mean, I want to get some free chicken again.
No.
It was pretty surreal.
Again.
Yeah, to see him win in a Hendrick Cars sponsored Spire truck. Like, that's so silly to me. Like,
basically
that's so whack.
Pushed by Hocevar too.
Yeah, which Hocevar did say he was overheating and didn't really feel like he had a chance to make a move, but still, like, good teammate right there. Good future teammate.
I'm saying that could be some early lobbying.
You see
Could
what
be.
You see what happens when you put Kyle Busch in the 7 truck and not that 07 they tried to make him race last year.
God,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's like that. It's like that truck was legitimately slower for some reason last year.
Now I am gonna say though, Ben Rhodes and that 99 team, that was one that slipped away. They were far and away fast.
Well, oh my God. He would like fly into the frame. They'd be zoomed in on like the front row and you just see he was in an orange truck, right? You just see him come just flying in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and for what it sounded like, ThorSport had something that they'd figured out. So like that's gonna be really interesting to see. Like, is that just an Atlanta thing? Or is that something that we can look forward to later in the year at Talladega? I mean, that might make a really big difference where it's at on the schedule.
I'll be watching for him this weekend. I mean, truthfully, I've looked for the entry list for this weekend's race. No one stands out to me that they could, be a true favorite this weekend. But I see some guys like a Ty Majeski. He might be. Well, watch for him to get his first win this weekend.
Yeah, there's big names this weekend for sure, but like you're right, there is no real standout. I will say it was a good weekend in NASCAR when the biggest controversy, and I do have like a little bone to pick, not a big one, just a little one. But the biggest controversy is we missed the last 10 laps of the truck race. Like if that's the biggest controversy we've had, that's honestly not horrible. For me, I just don't like that could set a precedent of like, well, we can just schedule these things in whenever and then do how we do to ARCA all the time. So it's like ARCA, it seems like every damn year they have any good TV window, the races cut a few laps short outside of like maybe Daytona. And I don't want that to become a thing because we all know like stuff starts at ARCA and then it kind of leaks up to trucks and then it just keeps going and going. I don't want that to set a precedent.
Yeah.
That for me is something that
I agree in general. I think they handled it. I think the way they handled it this weekend was fine for this weekend. I agree with you. Like I don't want TV windows to be so stingy. Like I get, Fox FS1 went way over their window to get this race in, but by cutting it 10 laps short, CW then didn't have to disrupt their window at all. I'm like, you could have let CW go 15 minutes late. And I understand, like, what if they kept wrecking? It could have been a 30-minute delay. Like, you don't know, I guess, in that moment. So I think all things considered, NASCAR set the deadline well in advance. If you bought a ticket for Saturday, you still got to see nearly 2 full races. Whereas if they'd pushed it to Sunday, not only would it have disrupted Cup race pre-race, but it also, there are people who go to races who just show up Saturday and they don't come back Sunday. Like that, I meet people all the time who I'm like, hey, you going to be here tomorrow? Nope, going back home tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep. So I think considering the difficult weather situations, I think they handled this weekend about as well as they could. But I'm with you, Jarrett. I don't want them to be so stingy about their windows.
I will give one kind of like maybe solution is because TV windows are going to be very fickle and it's probably going to get that way more and more with how premium live sports is. I say if we're going to have this policy of cutting races short in general, because of weather, because of adverse conditions, all that, can these be the ones that we just don't throw the stage cautions for? If we don't throw the stage cautions, we get to the end unless it's complete wreck fest constantly. I think that's a fair trade-off and it keeps the intensity going. Cause man, that intensity, I know it was because the time was running out too, but that was the best truck race we've had there, like bar none since the reconfiguration. Yeah. And I was like, man, I wanted to actually see those last 10 laps. Like my brain actually muted the Fox broadcast. I was enjoying it so much.
I haven't even gone back. I got to go back and listen to the call at the end there. I still like to go see it. I don't know, just to file away in the old memory banks.
Just imagine that it's Vince Welch doing it.
Yes,
Kyle Busch coming out of the corner. Tom runs out.
No, hold on now. The Vince Welch charm was reserved strictly for the way he said Sheldon Creed. Let's not rewrite history and pretend Vince Welch was some great play-by-play commentator.
He wins it like Sheldon Creed would.
Yes, that works. Great pit reporter.
He is. Same with Jay Little.
Yep.
Yeah.
I knew
The
that was
wheel.
The wheel.
Oh man.
But that was good Truck Series weekend. And right now, Chandler Smith is your points leader in the Truck Series. Gio Rogero, second. Ben Rhodes, third. Tyler Majeski, fourth. Stuart Friesen sitting there in fifth. Brendan Queen is in a three-way tie for sixth place. All of them 53 points, along with Caden Honeycutt and Andres Perez. I'm going to be looking forward to seeing, now that we're past the 2 drafting tracks in the Truck Series, we won't return to another one until Talladega later in the year. I want to see what happens with Caden Honeycutt in 11. That was the best truck last year. I want to see if that truck comes alive this year.
Agree. And I wanted to give a shout out to Stuart Friesen, life-threatening wreck last summer, to come back and win a stage and to be now, I think you said top 5 in points. That's pretty huge. To even be racing, period, to be having success is pretty remarkable.
Did you catch on the ticker? I'll replay it. Who it's not letting me replay it. There it is. Check out who the first one out of the chase right now in the Truck Series is. I don't know if you've looked. If you have, don't spoil it for those who weren't paying attention.
Is it 11th place?
It's 11th place. Top guy who is out of the chase currently.
Norm Benning.
Oh my gosh.
Someone give this man a ride.
Only took one race.
Give this man a ride.
He won a stage, so yeah, a lot of bonus points. That's crazy.
I'm going to be curious because I'm sure he'll make a few more starts at the end. I want to see truly who does he beat with a handful of starts.
Oh man,
be like Eric Almirola and O'Reilly last year.
Right.
Yep.
I tell you who I'm disappointed though right now at this point of the season. And it's got a long ways to go, but Lane Riggs is in 23rd right now.
Yeah. Oh, Hemrick's 29th.
Oh,
I know there's time. There's
Chris Rice
much.
18th.
There's not as much time in the Truck Series though. Like that. You don't have as many races, but
no, you don't.
We'll see. We'll see. What time is it now? It's not Heim time, but
it is not Heim time. But I tell you what it is time for. Super Chat Stage Break.
Hey.
I don't have all of the backlog ones, so I don't know if Eric, if you have them on that end, you can.
Oh, I have to
them up.
sift through them. Danny, if you know where you're starting, just go for it.
Yep. We're going to start off. Joshua Boston. He started us off tonight, becoming a member. Danny B Superfans. Thank you for that. And Spencer Purcell became a member of Danny B Superfans, or he has been a member for 56 months. And of course, he joined in that Gen Alpha emojis. Appreciate that. Urban Alvarado dropping a $5 in here. Testing. Creed win. Yeah, testing. Okay, I hope it works. I guess the storyline there was YouTube was not letting anyone say anything at all, so they just spammed the emojis, and that's what happened. That was the only way they could.
Okay.
Okay, there's Gordon the Engine. So Topham Hat threatened to scrap him for calling Santa a shill. Well, you shouldn't be doing that, Gordon. But I do appreciate a $20 donation there, Gordon. Billy Riker, appreciate the $10 donation. I made a season-long bet for wins and was curious what everyone thought. Briscoe over 2.5 wins. Hamlin under 3.5 wins. Larson over 4 wins. Elliott under 1.5 wins. I don't like the Elliott one. I'm okay with the Larson one. I think I'm okay on the Hamlin one, but we'll see. Briscoe, I do like over 2.5.
I think Elliott is going to get multiple wins this year. The others, I think I agree on the others.
Hamlin might surprise me, but I could see him just having 3 wins this year. We'll see. The Sloth Nerd appreciated the $5. Who would be better on the road courses, SVG in a Trackhouse 97 or a rookie Connor Zilish in a Hendrick 48? It'd still be SVG.
They're putting Zilish in the 48 now? Man, Danny, that's just cruel.
I'm driving the 48, guys. I don't know. Bailey Reichert, appreciate the $2. Also, I'm shocked Ty Gibbs gets special treatment.
We'll talk about that in the second half.
Yeah, we will.
Gordon the Engine, $5. Question for Danny: are you gonna get the Wonders of Sodor game when it comes out? Yours truly is in it. Oh, yours truly is in it. I didn't even know they were making a Wonders of Soda. I'll have to look into that. I guess it's some kind of Thomas game I didn't know about. I'll look into that. TVP, appreciate the $4.99. Wednesday night, NWP and ND premiere of Survivor 50. Life is good. Never got into Survivor, but I seen it was trending. I guess it's the 50th anniversary of Survivor.
Good to know.
Or 50th season of Survivor, I should say, not anniversary. Casey Rose, appreciate you $2. Ross is our hero. I was so happy. A lot of people were. Evergreen Mountain, appreciate the $5. I hope someone tells Keelan Harvick to never, under any circumstances, piss off Ty Gibbs. Speaking of which, is Toyota cool with JGR freezing out Heim? I don't know about the Toyota and them being cool with it, but it's happening. But I think we'll end on that one. We'll come back to our friend Joshua Boston later on the show. We appreciate everyone for your support to the show. It truly does mean a lot. We don't take that for granted. We never ask y'all to do that, but we appreciate everything that y'all do for us. And guys, it's been getting warm all of a sudden, and it was cold. But you know what happens when it gets warm randomly, Jared? You know what happens around here?
I think I might, but tell me.
A lightning round shows up in the form of thunderstorms. It's time for the lightning round.
Yeah, so we don't got too much here. Of course, it's the NWP channel. It's linked below. We'll share each podcast we do. So if you ever just want a central one to know where we're going to be each week, there you go. Keelan Harvick, yes, we talked about before, signed a long-term development deal with Toyota. From what it sounds like, he might be worth the hype. For sure. Fun thing, if you ever heard the 2003 parody I Love NASCAR, released by Cletus T. Judd that had Toby Keith on it, there's now a 2026 version. It is much less of a budget put into it, definitely. But it is pretty cool that the Toby Keith section of the song is actually sung by Toby Keith's daughter. So that's a pretty cool twist to it. Wow. I like, it's cool having the modern names put in and some of the references. Then Craftsman's deal with NASCAR to sponsor the Truck Series ends this year, and there is at the time no deal currently put in for them to renew. So as a precautionary measure, NASCAR could enter the sponsor market since there has been no renewal reached yet. And this is, of course, from Adam Stern, so pretty reputable source. And then next week, March 4th, will be on Eric's channel. And we'll be talking all things COTA. St. Pete, that's another thing. Talking St. Pete. So plenty to talk about with that. But that will do it for the lightning round. And there is no time to waste this week. Let's head into the headlines.
And the first headline we need to discuss, guys. Dun dun. Dun, 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 dun. NASCOURT's back, baby.
I'm calling it the NASCOURT Cinematic Universe at this point, the NCU.
Break us down, Eric. What's been happening in the world of NASCOURT?
I've got the talking gavel, so that means you guys have to cede your time to me. It's quite simple.
I object.
Hey. I don't know what these are actually for in the courtroom. The guy in
my channel, leave me alone.
The 2311 judge Bell did not have one of these. I was disappointed. What's going on? So Joe Gibbs Racing last week sued their former competition director Chris Gabehart, alleging that he had planned a brazen scheme to steal JGR's sensitive information on the behalf of another competitor in NASCAR, that being Spire Motorsports. They say that he had a folder on his Google Drive labeled Spire that within contained sensitive Joe Gibbs Racing information.
Might as well have called it I'm taking this.
He rolled a 1 in stealth.
They said among them were photos that he took with his phone. He took photos of his work laptop screen that allegedly contained sensitive information that Joe Gibbs Racing says went beyond his role of competition director. And then this week, Joe Gibbs Racing went a step further. They added Spire Motorsports as a defendant. So now JGR is actually suing Spire as well. And they filed a motion for a temporary restraining order to prevent Gabehart from going to work at Spire in the meantime, in their eyes there, so he doesn't, bring any of the allegedly stolen information with him. So that's the Joe Gibbs Racing side of things. Today, just before we went live, as a matter of fact, about an hour or two ago, Chris Gabehart filed an official response where he, of course, denies giving any information to Spire. He admitted that, yes, he did take photos of his laptop, and but he said, hey, I didn't use them for anything. He even admitted that, yes, there was a Spire folder on my laptop. That was just for when I got the job offer. It was a way for me to like how to organize my notes about that job. He's denying that any information, confidential information, changed hands. And he also alleges that Joe Gibbs Racing missed payments, like they mishandled his exit from the organization, that like they withheld his last couple of payments. There's an issue with medical insurance that he's actually now basically filing a counterclaim against them. And then the really juicy stuff inside that is he outlines how unhappy he was his final year working at Joe Gibbs Racing. He took on the role of competition director, and then he says that at the end of the season, he filed a written notice with the team that he felt the job did not match the job description. He pointed out what he called a dysfunctional organization with how they handled the 54 team specifically. He pointed out that Joe Gibbs was directly involved in the 54 team's performance, would often make decisions, personnel moves, without consulting Gabehart, the competition director. Gabehart even alleges that Ty Gibbs was not held to the same standard as other drivers when it came to like attending meetings and such. So that's his response. Obviously, ultimately his goal is to say, hey, you can't, this temporary restraining order they can't do that. I need to make a living. He's got this job with Spire now. That is my long-winded off-the-cuff recap of the past week. I believe there is a hearing scheduled for like Friday about this restraining order, so that could get settled. That part could get figured out pretty quick, but the actual case, now that it involves Spire, it's JGR versus Spire / Chris Gabehart. Who knows how long that could go on, but it's complicated. I mean, I don't...
I think you did a great job of pretty much summing it up. There's not too much we can go into great detail on this right here, because that's basically all that we have at the moment. It's just going to have to play itself out. We'll cover it 1 week at a time, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely, it's, I from what I can tell, and obviously we don't know, both sides are sort of refuting the other, but it feels like Gabehart, I don't know, his defense of, yes, I took photos of confidential information, but I didn't use them. Like, it's like, oh yes, I had JGR setups in my Spire folder, but in his statement, he says, but I did not use them. It's like, use them for what? I don't know. Like, it's, I feel like
I don't think he's necessarily got any strong case for him, but also I don't know if it's going to benefit either party to try and just prevent him from having this job. I think they could maybe seize the photos and have those completely removed from existing, but that's about it.
Well, and then I was just going to say, from the other side of it is like, I don't know. It does sound like maybe Joe Gibbs Racing was disorganized trying to navigate Gabehart's departure. He may have a strong case there. So I could see both sides having a case to some degree, which is why I think there's a good chance this gets settled. The stuff that's like not maybe legally as relevant, but for us NASCAR fans is kind of juicy, or where the Ty Gibbs, I guess we call them allegations from Gabehart that he gets.
That's like the RCR bonus clips of the last case, the stuff you didn't expect is suddenly getting thrown in there all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's just, it's interesting. Like, we all kind of knew, we all kind of assumed, okay, yes, Ty Gibbs is treated a little differently than Hamlin and Briscoe and Bell and other drivers at Joe Gibbs Racing. We all kind of assumed that, but to hear it spelled out, to hear Gabehart allege that, oh yeah, Ty Gibbs, like he's not at certain meetings that other drivers have to be at, like that. Oof, that certainly, I don't know, alleges at least a lack of discipline. I think it calls into question to some extent Joe Gibbs as a leader. Like, I think Joe Gibbs has often been highly regarded as this great leader, football, NASCAR. Obviously there've been some behind the scenes difficulties. I mean, that family has dealt with tragedy and loss, and that's impacted their business and their succession plan, no doubt. But at the end of the day, like, Joe Gibbs is an adult. Like, it's his job to have the authority to hold Ty Gibbs accountable if he's not, you know what I mean? Like, and I think it all just looks worse because Ty Gibbs is struggling. Like, when Ty Gibbs was dominating in the O'Reilly series, we didn't really joke or talk about this that much because, well, he's looked really good. Like, yeah, maybe some nepotism, whatever. he's winning. But now that he's not winning, it's like, oh, and he's getting preferential treatment. That's kind of an ugly look, I imagine. But
lines up with that whole deal with Denny Hamlin too last year and all the stuff that was sort of said. New
Hampshire. Yeah.
Yeah. With that, I think what this could really do, because I don't even know if it makes it like all the way to a full, like, trial. They could definitely settle. What this kind of sets the precedent with, though, is when it comes to what information goes which ways, intellectual property, what exactly necessarily entails that for people moving one place to the other. Because part of information moving around is that's motorsports, sports in general. That's just how it goes. I mean, if you want a stick and ball comparison, like that's like a practice squad quarterback for one team getting signed by the team that team plays the next week so that they can get information. Like, yeah, you don't have it, but like, how far does that reach to taking pictures of a computer screen, different things like that? So I think that'll be the interesting part, is to see just how much, because like what happens if Chris Gabehart just remembers that stuff? Like at that point, does he get, like memory hold for something like that? So it's like, how far are they going to have that reach? I think is going to be the interesting part for how people move around, how different teams are with that kind of stuff. Because I believe Spire works on their setups with Hendrick Motorsports. So any of that information that gets to Spire gets to Hendrick Motorsports on top of that, which pretty big.
For sure. I think there is. That's what Joe Gibbs Racing will have to prove, that there was a like, it's going to be tough if all they have is, yes, Gabehart had possession of information, but they can't prove that it made its way to Spire. Because you're right. Like if Gabehart just shows up to Spire and thinks up the same ideas he thought up at JGR, there's nothing against that. But if he's taking JGR programs and graphs and data, all that, like, and is actively like referring to it, like that's where it becomes a lot murkier. And in this age of NASCAR, where it's less about, who can mold, who can bend the sheet metal the best, or build the most efficient spring. Like now it's about simulation, algorithms, who has the best data to apply digitally. Like it's so much more information based now, that I agree. If JGR comes out of this like on top, for sure, like I think that's going to be an eye opener to the rest of the garage. Of like, I think either way, even if they lose, if Gibbs loses this, I think the rest of the garage is going to be like, well, shoot, we got to take even more safeguards to protect our, intellectual property, quote unquote, because people in the industry bounce from team to team all the time, every year. They're all right there in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. It's not, so it's that part will be interesting, because now information is so valuable. So we'll see. I don't know.
The other part I found kind of interesting looking at it is it like that they had let him go in February was kind of what they're claiming. I think February 9th was the date. See some saying the 6th. I thought it was the 9th they were saying.
It was November was like when they were like, I think November was his last time working there, but he wasn't officially terminated until February, which is where Gabehart's like, hey, they weren't paying me during that time. So like, anyway.
Since it's out in the open now, like the three of us, we caught wind of this from someone. What was that, like December-ish? We kind of heard.
Yeah, we had some people send it basically to our anonymous tip line on air. We got like a super chat about it, and we're just
that's right.
And it just like baffled us, like, really? Like, I don't know about that. And then like we found out from other people, like, oh yeah, that might actually happen. And we're like, damn, that was moving quick, and it was moving quick at the time. I'm just interested too in some of the details with Chris Gabehart's contract and like the non-compete side of it. Like I think part of the contract too was saying that he can't go to another team for the same kind of job or similar job. Like that just, unless they have like the actual contract speak with it, that's very specific, that very, very much sounds vague on that side of it as well, of like what entails it, like if it's a different title but similar roles. And
you'd have to convince either a judge or a jury that his new job is the same as his old job. Like there's a lot of gray area where one side could prevail over the other, but I'd still be surprised if it goes all the way there. Because think about it, if it goes to like, I don't know exactly how it'll work, but if it works like the antitrust trial did, shoot, JGR setups could become in public through Discovery, and now all the teams can see Joe Gibbs's setup data. And it's like, I don't think they want that, so we'll see.
RCR sitting there like, oh, every week is Richmond now.
You know, in SpongeBob, when they find the map and their eyes just stick out and start looking at everything, that's all the teams looking at all of that.
That really would be
the map.
Patrick, are you aware this is just our game?
Yeah. You know, so NASCOURT didn't just have that side of it. One of them that went kind of under the radar was that there's a lawsuit surrounding the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway filed by former racer Neil Chaffin, who is
he related to Chad Chaffin?
He's got to be.
Probably. I'll be honest, I didn't look it up.
Let me see if I can find that.
Yeah, you look that side up.
What are the odds?
Well, basically, this is against the anti-fairgrounds group that wants to rewrite the 2011 referendum on the track that would essentially ban racing. Now, this would be rewritten. It would be put on the ballot after they get 50,000 votes from those in the county. And from there, they want to replace the track with housing and other moves that are supported by the owner of the soccer stadium next door, John Ingram. The lawsuit they're arguing is saying that this would not be some neutral change, but would seek to go against what Nashville locals voted for overwhelmingly in 2011. Honestly, because there's even less details that we're going to find out probably in the near future with it being a local issue rather than the big sports issue. I just think that this more than likely is just going to hold more things up with NASCAR getting to the fairgrounds.
I've gave up on that. They have Nashville Super Speedway, and I'm just settling with that.
I mean, I wouldn't give up like all like for good on it, but like for the
I'm also
the
just
near
not.
term.
I'm also just not holding my breath on it because still this car sucks at short tracks. So why do I want to get too excited for that?
Cup wouldn't be there from at least what I understand. Cup wouldn't be there for a long time, even if it got passed. It would
then that makes it even harder to hold out for this, you know?
Well, it would be trucks that would be there first, and trucks would get a few years, and then they'd slowly build that side of it up. Like I said, I don't think that it happens anytime soon from what I've heard. From what I had heard basically is that when we were in Knoxville or around there last year in Pigeon Forge, I had heard that if it didn't get passed by the Daytona 500 last year, it'd probably be a few years before we ever got that close again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think that they're going to put housing over the fairgrounds. I think it's probably just going to stay as is with local racing and regional racing. But I don't know. It basically the whims of what gets people elected is what this is going to be. I wish I had more on that side of it, but like I see RIP, like, no, there's going to be a race in there. It's going to be fine. It's just, it's going to be a hot minute, as it's been for literally the entire time we've done this podcast. We've been covering this step by step as it goes. It's like the it's not the overarching story. It's like that simmering story in the background. And every now and then it just pops its head up with more clues.
We're going to be 50 years old still talking about NASCAR is talking about returning to the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.
One day.
Our kids are going to take over the show and still be talking about Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.
You know what we're going to be? We're going to be that SpongeBob episode. Yeah, Squidward. Yeah, Squidward.
We've done that. We've done that in one of these shows already. By the way, Neil Chaffin is Chad's dad.
Okay.
That's what I was able to find. It seemed. I couldn't confirm it, but it seemed like that was the relation. What are the odds?
We're never going to forget Chad Chaffin ever. No one knew him.
Random driver, baby. You know what we might not forget, or maybe we'll forget really quick, is the new All-Star format. A wall of text.
Let's move on.
We're going to forget how it operates. That's for sure.
So anyway, prediction. No, yeah. I put it on. I put my thoughts on X very simply, and I put it in my video. Like we've jumped the shark. big time. Let's just make it a 37th points race at this rate. If this is what we're going to be doing, like it's almost a full cup race at Dover that is awarding no points. Everyone is going to be there. That's already there.
I think.
What are we doing?
I said it around a Clash. I'd rather the Clash be the All-Star race at this point.
Yeah, at least this is just I agree. I don't have as big an issue with all the drivers starting the race, because to me the race doesn't really start until that 200 to go segment begins. It's like they're still, I just feel like they overcomplicated what it now takes to qualify in. It used to just be if you're an open car, not a past winner or whatever, you run 100 laps, top 2 advance. And it was exciting every year, like the Ty Gibbs, Michael McDowell beef. And if you it was like an LCQ, which this year Bowman Gray, the LCQ was thrilling with LaJoy and Allmendinger and Cindric. So we're robbing us of a very easy to understand, just like desperate, open cutoff race. And we're replacing it with these 2 segments that are like 1 part qualifying races. Then they get inverted. There's math involved where you have to figure out, okay, who had the best combined finish. It's like, just overcomplicated it. And then, yes, at the end of the day, it's a 350 lap race at Dover, which is basically a full cup race. So I feel like this idea was essentially doomed the moment it was announced. Dover seems like a fine track. I've not been, but it seems like a fine facility. It's got its loyal audience. They didn't deserve to lose a point state to I understand they wanted to give North Wilkesboro a point state. It had to go somewhere. It had to replace an SMI date, but it's just a shame that Dover's gone from 2 points races to 1 weird exhibition in just a short amount of time. That feels like too steep a fall off. So I don't know what they could have done to make this more exciting. If they just made it a 200 lap race with only winners, okay. But I think we'd still be sitting here saying the same thing. Like, it's just like, what's the point? Who was there anything they could have done realistically to Dover to get us hyped for an all-star race there?
I don't run what you brung.
Maybe
do some crazy ass off the wall setups, but at that point the teams would shoot that down if they went to that degree that we actually would want. I just
think it's sad that like there is a scenario where like literally your champion from last year, Kyle Larson, may not even be in the final segment of the All-Star race if something doesn't happen right.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these guys.
Wrecks, I guess. Yeah,
and again, we're going to be sitting watching the All-Star race, and we're going to be focusing on 21st place, probably a lap down. Maybe a lap down, I should say. Just to me, it's an overall all-star race issue. And granted, NASCAR's done pretty damn well. It's probably the first swing and miss of the year. But like the all-star race in general, it's redundant. The Clash is a better exhibition race that actually has more of an all-star race. It's reinvented itself. It's a better ratings draw. The flow of the season gets messed up with the all-star race because around race 12, we're into it. We're starting to get the idea of who's good. We're heading to the 600, but we got to make a stop to a race that really nobody outside of the people that are competing in care about anymore.
It just feels
it's literally lost value too, because it's still $1 million to pay, and it's been that way for, I don't know, 20 or 30 years. And $1 million is still $1 million, but it's not what it used to be.
The winner of the Daytona 500 makes like double that. If you want to make it something worth actually, money wise, being like, damn, that's a lot of money. Like, make it 10 million, make it 20 million, like do something crazy with it, like $1 million used to be.
It's definitely had some awesome storylines. Like Tony Stewart's first win as an owner driver was the All-Star race, and that was just truly awesome. Like, oh wow, look at Tony, he got $1 million for the organization he started this year. That's going to go a long ways, and ultimately it did help them a little bit. They got better after that one.
And it's so convoluted too. Like, I see everybody comparing it because of the average finish thing to the 2012 format that we had, and even that was. Oh, and the thing was, like the racing itself in that all-star race was actually pretty damn good. The problem was it was so convoluted. People and people were outing themselves. I remember on YouTube and Twitter for their horrible math skills, being like, that's not what it is. It's like, but buddy, you got to divide it by 4 or by 3 or whatever that was. Like you don't know. It's not adding it up, all that. But like, it's just all of these things combined. It just doesn't. There's what's special about this race? If anything, like if you added it as a points race, you'd keep the flow of the season going. you would probably have more people at the track interested and make more money. You definitely have more people watching on TV. You'd sell more ads. You already have a race that's an exhibition before the season that accomplishes the goal of this race better and draws more people in. I don't see why we do it anymore at this point. When was the last time the All-Star race was like it was a banger race? Not like had a cool moment, but like after the race, you're like
Wilkesboro a couple of years ago. I thought the Logano Bell finish was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess bringing Wilkesboro back for me was the one where like everyone's talking about it. But like this isn't, it's not like one hot night. It's not like, Dale Jr. winning in his rookie year or Ryan Newman winning his rookie year or Mark Martin getting one in the old Folgers car or keep your foot in it 2009 kind of deal.
That's true.
It's just, it doesn't have that aura anymore. And if anything, the All-Star race needs to have, it needs to have aura. Like,
and 1 p.m. on a Sunday in Dover, Delaware. I'm sorry, Dover, Delaware. There's no aura there. There's nothing.
And there's definitely a chance of some rain there too that time of year in Dover.
Well, you know why it's moved so early is so that it doesn't interfere with Indy 500 qualifying that day.
Yeah,
makes sense.
It's just. It doesn't help even the build up for the 600 for Prime. It puts Prime at a huge disadvantage because there is no hype. Like all the hype dies and then you have to rebuild it in a week. So
I was just kind of curious. I was kind of curious to do some inflation calculating. $1 million in 2009 when Tony Stewart won the All-Star race. Today, realistically, the All-Star race needs to be for about $1.5 million. That's what it says. Purchasing power of $1 million in 2009. Overtime is around $1.5 million now.
Well, when was the first year it did $1 million? Was it like 2002 or 3?
Yeah, that's a better question. If anyone can find me that real quick, I'd be curious to punch that number into today.
Somebody will definitely have it in the chat. Like,
within
the next minute. I would think, because I know like when Junior won it, it was like $500,000.
Oh really? Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't like the full $1 million at that point, but yeah, I don't want to pile on it because I'm hoping it's a fun race still.
Became a standard in 2003. So let me do 2003 to now, and let's see what that is.
That was right around before we called it the All-Star Challenge.
Okay, just call it $1.8 million what the All-Star race should be now.
$2 million to the winner. Round up. Nice.
I'm down. This is, I think, the first time this year, though, kind of going on to the next segment, we actually have some reckless speculation to talk about.
We do have some reckless speculation.
Yeah. Rumors, reckless speculation. What we got, Danny?
We might see a third car for Legacy. And no, I'm not talking about Jimmy Johnson's 84 car. We might see them find a way to get a third car. So who are some names that may drive this mystery third car for Legacy? Some early contenders for 2027 are Riley Herbst and Jesse Love. Riley Herbst, you get it. He's in Toyota's field. He does bring Monster Energy funding and a few other partners. But it's pretty clear he's filling a seat at 2311.
Where are these rumors coming from? Because so Jesse Love to Legacy, that's been a rumor since like last year.
Jesse Love to Toyota in general has been something because he started off in Toyota's system. It's kind of it's actually weirder. He ended up in RCR to begin with.
So this was originally from the Rumors and Nostalgia page on Instagram, and then corroborated by a few people on the Reddit side. So again, take it with the grains of salt that this segment is born from.
Well, I mean, it all sounds believable. I think we all know Riley is in kind of a prove it year. What we didn't know coming into the year was just how rooted in that 35 car he really was. Like, what is the financial support his family is bringing to that seat? It seems like it's not enough for him to be untouchable. Like there is, if he struggles this year, they're going to put Corey Heim in that seat. That seems to be the direction things are leaning. So let's assume that happens. Because I mean, Riley, he had a good run at Daytona, but I think Riley's probably going to be 30th or worse in points this year is my guess. Let's assume that happens. Yeah, Corey Heim, obvious choice. So then if Love or Herbst for the Legacy car, I mean, Legacy has a third charter. We know that they'll have a third charter next year. I think Love is the better choice. Obviously, it's just gonna be it's the Heim Herbst deal all over again. It's just okay. Is the money from Herbst too good to pass up on? I don't know, but I feel like Jesse Love and Corey Heim have both done enough to show their Cup Series caliber. So I hope it's those two.
What does Herbst have to do to keep his ride at 23-11 in your opinion?
That's
for me,
a great question.
For me, it's win and be top 15 in points.
I think
if he does that,
and he needs to consistently get top 10s, like, do that.
I think if he's top 20 in points, win or no win, I think that could be enough to be like, hey, the money's good. And that would show that if he actually was top 20 in points this year, that's a 15 position improvement. That's legit. If he does that, that is okay. Wow, he's turned a corner. He's legitimately a Cup Series driver. And at that point, if he's a legit Cup Series driver and he's got sponsorship, yeah, you keep him, no doubt. And I wouldn't even complain. I'd say, yeah, he earned it. Good job, Riley. But I just don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Right now, it's just so interesting here. If you take just Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace, average points standings right now for 23-11 racing is 1.5. But then when you add in Riley Herbst is 23rd, divide that by 3, it's closer to 9.
Even taking out the super speedwayification of it, like just if you look at last year and chase wise, you'd probably think Reddick will be top 10. Bubba should be probably top 12 to 14. So like if you just say their average is like 7th and then you add in Riley Herbst finished where last year, like 32nd or something in points,
35th.
something like that. 35th. Jesus Christ.
He only beat Cody Ware.
Straight to jail. Straight to jail.
Danny was
you just saw the system reset immediately.
You're in 23-11 racing. What are you doing?
Ooh. Wait a minute. Oh my God, you're right. He lost to the Haas car. Ooh, that's bad. Yeah, we probably shouldn't even entertain the conversation what he needs to do to them.
Oh my God. You're repping this team, Riley. Act like it.
Okay, this is gonna have to be in the top 10 video at the end of the year. Whenever
Danny's about to like burn his take his 23-11 straw, burn it.
Jeez.
Pull a Skip Bayless, be like, Riley, look what you've done, and just spikes it into the trash can.
God.
I forgot I was even wearing that shirt, and I was like, here we go.
There was other reckless speculation from the words of Steve O'Donnell. So these ones have a little more roots to them, I would say. So Steve O'Donnell was talking about the possibility of, the future schedules. That 36 has worked, but it might not be what they do forever. They might have more. They might do less. They're talking about shortening the season kind of thing, maybe midweek races. This also was paired by Adam Stern with an article talking about what the NFL is doing. Now, I want to preface this. The way I interpreted it is not NASCAR avoiding the NFL. It's the NFL, and I have a video coming out about this tomorrow. It's the NFL more choking other leagues out. So before people dogpile Steve O'Donnell like they were doing without reading the damn article, like I actually did, I even paid to do it because I'm not, they wrote their own stuff. I'm not going to pirate it. Good work that they did. I think it was puck.com with John Orland. The NFL is setting to more than likely opt out of their current deal in 2029, and their increase in revenue could go from $10 billion a year to somewhere between $18 to $20 billion a year on a conservative side. That's a hefty chunk of change. Basically, the networks might have to pull funds from other sports budgets. So Fox might have to do it from MLB, NASCAR, UFL, you name it. Pull funds from that broadcasting to try and keep the NFL, because the NFL is basically saying they're up for business. YouTube is talking about getting games. Netflix is talking about them. Prime wants more games. Basically anyone with pockets wants more games, right? why wouldn't they? The NFL is at an all-time high, and the NFL is flexing their muscles as they should. They've pushed basketball to the background on Christmas. They've taken over Thanksgiving. Yeah. They're pushing the Daytona 500 off of President's Day weekend. Like, they're talking about pushing college football off of Labor Day weekend as their opening one. And the NFL has the ability to do it with the muscle they have. So I put all this together by saying 2029 is about 2 years before NASCAR's current deal ends. That all kind of step by step makes me think that if Steve O'Donnell's talking about this and openly saying that, with how hard it was to sell the last deal, because I remember it was the summer 10 races was what was holding up the whole deal. Like, Fox had their 14 and NBC had their 14. It was the 10 in the middle that were the hard part that they had to sell kind of last minute. Like, do you guys think we have a shorter than a 38 race schedule when you include the 2 non-points exhibition races? 2032.
I would be a little surprised, because I think NASCAR has shown that they really need the media rights revenue to make the teams happy, the tracks happy, themselves happy. And less races means less overall money. Now, maybe there's a way they make it work where it's actually a little bit more per race, but I don't know. I feel like networks ultimately still are going to want more inventory, not less. So I'd be a little surprised, but it is 6 years away, 5 years away. Like, a lot
can change.
A lot can change. So I don't know, but I'd be a little surprised right now.
Yeah, I'm with Eric on this one. I would be surprised.
Now, midweek races, because I think you mentioned that, like, if they were to say, hey, maybe it's 34 weekends and we have a couple midweek races to speed things up, that I feel like, I mean, we saw with the Clash, on network TV, they could still get 2.5-3 million viewers if they market it appropriately. So it's
especially
more than they get for Bristol Night, on Saturday. So
especially in the summertime, I think we could get away with some midweek races, but it's got to be stuff that logistically is going to make sense for the teams to get to. Like, I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas here. We could run a midweek race at North Wilkesboro. I think we could make that happen. We could run a midweek race at Martinsville and make that happen. You can't go run a midweek race at Kansas. That just doesn't make a lot of sense.
You'd be so far out of the way. Like, you probably have you could probably do Sunday at, let's just do Sunday at Richmond, Wednesday at Wilkesboro, next Sunday at Martinsville, because it's just so geographically close. I think for me, I think that's how they could keep it 236, and keep that compact the schedule like they might have to do. Because I also wonder too, the NFL also likes to put different aspects in to limit what broadcasters can do with competing leagues. Maybe they don't even care about NASCAR at this point just because of how different it is.
Can we theoretically get tracks to host more than 2 races by any reason?
I don't know why we would want it. I mean,
if it's more like, hey, Martinsville, you're going to get 2 weekend races, but you're also going to have 1 random midweek race.
I would think they'd probably, I mean, the only issue with that is, like, what tracks do you take it away from? I would think. My worry with if we keep the schedule length we have now is just, if, say, Fox is the one that's been talked about where they're really going to have trouble keeping the NFL the way that they want it. Like, if Fox doesn't pay for those first 14, who jumps in? Does Prime pull it off? But they're paying more money now for the NFL. NBC is apparently going to have to pay maybe even more than double what they pay now just for one Sunday night game, because YouTube and Disney are really wanting to buy that game up. So it's just, it could work on the flip side where we could get more network races if, like, NBC or CBS or Fox loses out on the NFL. But that would be, like, devastating for any of those 3, especially with promotion. So again, that's why I'm saying so much could change. I find it interesting that Steve O'Donnell is already talking about the direction it could go this early, where we did not hear that. I mean, that's like the equivalent of hearing about the current deal we have now in 2018 from NASCAR leadership.
It's true.
Like we didn't hear that. So I don't want people jumping on NASCAR's case about something that honestly is not even in their control at this point. It just isn't. But we'll find out. We'll find out.
I think that's it for the headlines this week.
To me, we can have fun now.
We can have fun. F is for friends who do stuff together.
U is for you and me. I didn't know if you could hear me or not.
This is fun. We're having fun.
Yeah.
Froze up on me for a second.
Let's go to the predictions. So each host will make 2 NASCAR motorsports or show-related predictions. We'll keep track of them each week in our accountability sessions, and we'll try and keep them concise within a few years, but we play fast and loose. Eric. Nothing. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I said one of the Atlanta races would finish under yellow. Thank God I was wrong.
Yep.
I don't count the way the truck race ended. Just even though it ended early, it was still under green.
Yeah.
Danny, you said 60% or more of the laps in the O'Reilly race would be led by RCR. They were not. I don't think they even led 50%.
People said that was a layup too, so could be wrong.
So Eric still leads at 50 flat. I have 41.66 and Danny at 40 flat. So
new strategy. All of my predictions are punted to next year, so I end the year at 50% because that's going to be a tough mark for y'all to clear.
All of mine I have tonight. Will not find out after this weekend.
I lead all time at 36.82. Danny at 32.69. Nice. And Eric at 32.37. All right. So that means Eric goes first.
Where did I put my notes? My notes are all over the place tonight. All right. Shoot. I forgot both of the ones I wrote down are both for this weekend. So,
oops.
We're just going to go 2 for 2. How about that? All right. First, we'll start here. Tyler Reddick, red hot start to the year. Really good at COTA. I predict he finishes top 5 this weekend.
I like that.
All right. I'm going to have a fun one here. I think that Shane Van Gisbergen will leave COTA in the top 5 in points. He's currently 16th. I think he jumps up to at least the top 5.
Okay. All right.
So little challenge on that one. You don't know where others will finish.
I'm going to say something maybe a little optimistic here. We've seen some races so far do better than they did last year. I think there's a little bit of a hype this season. The race, this will be something Jared has to watch all year long. Or not all year long.
Oh, man.
Huh?
I'm just like thinking, oh, man, you're going to put me behind the 8 ball all damn year on one of these.
Fox will have more Cup Series races increase in viewership for 2026 compared to 2025. Then there will be decrease.
Okay. All right. So I got to go back and look. I think.
So right now it's Daytona was an increase, but Atlanta was barely down.
Are we counting the Clash and All-Star race?
We're just going to count the points races. We won't worry about exhibition races.
Okay.
Am I up again?
Yes, sir.
All right. So these 2 drivers are pulling double duty. Connor Zilic, Shane Van Gisbergen. Cup race, man. I can't wait to watch how they do on Sunday. Zilic has a little bit of track time in a Cup car at COTA. Got wrecked last year in his debut. But I don't want to talk about the Cup race. Cup race, we'll see. I think Connor Zilic will beat Shane Van Gisbergen in the O'Reilly Series race.
Not saying he has to win the race, but he'll just beat SVG.
Just got to beat SVG. I feel like this is my 50-50 pick that we'll see where it ends up.
That's fair.
I like it.
All right. I'll have the chat spam USA in the chat for my next prediction. I got to make sure I pronounce these names right. So I think one of, some of, all of these 3 Olympians will attend a NASCAR race by the end of the year, especially with NBC being big time on that. Alyssa Liu, Jack Hughes, or Connor Hellebuyck, I think is how you say his name. Alyssa is the one that basically won over the entire country with the figure skating. The other 2 are from the USA gold medal hockey team. Actually, on Connor, who is the goalie, his dad actually raced in ARCA and at Flat Rock back in the day. And is actually now friends with, I found out is now friends with Dale Jr. because they both are into 3D printing. Crazy ass facts. But I think that one of those 3 will be at a race by the end of 2025 or 2026. Sorry.
I like that. I like that. I could see any of those being at a race this year in some capacity.
Yeah, they don't even have to be speaking at some point. We'll see them on one of them on screen.
Okay, so, but your caveat is that they have to be on TV, not like we saw them on TV. Not like at social media. Oh, she's at the race, you know.
I mean, I think I said they are attending first. I mean, we can do it to TV if we want to make it more interesting. If you guys,
I think attending is fine. We'll just do attending.
Okay.
Because sometimes there might be celebrities that are there, but they don't necessarily get on TV for being there.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah. All right, we talked about the All-Star race at Dover, and I'm going to go ahead and put in something here. Alex Bowman will score a top 5 in the All-Star race at Dover.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Yeah, he's good there.
All right. I'll keep track of those. The ratings one will be fun because we'll either find out about it the last week or very early on.
Yep.
All right. So let's keep the good times rolling. Let's keep having some fun. I have a random driver of the week set up. So
driver of the week. All right, I'm ready.
All right. So Danny leads 36-35 over Eric all time. Of the last 5, Danny has 3 of them. Milka Duno, Ralph Earnhardt, and Fred Lorenzen. Eric has Paul and Ryan Newman.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
More Newmans.
Randy Newman is not a NASCAR driver.
Randy. Do.
All right. This random driver is a Vermont native. So we're already starting off on a fun side of it.
What's even going on up in Vermont?
What
do they got up there?
Guns, hunting.
Ben and Jerry's is made there. I went to their factory.
I did not know that.
Okay. That's a good pull.
I am once again asking you to guess a random driver from my state. This random driver was inducted also into the Vermont Sports Hall of Fame in 2024.
Have you been there, Danny?
I did not go there.
This random driver was a Cup driver for 13 years.
Okay. All right.
13 years in Cup. That's solid. That's a decent amount of time.
I forgot to let you guys know, since we're 3 clues in, I only have 16 this week, so we're on a bit of a tight schedule.
13 years in Cup, and all you could get was 16 clues.
This random driver has just over 1,000 followers on X. So, hey, gotta have some fun random ones in there too. This random driver won 3 Milk Bowls at the famed Thunder Road. It's a race, Eric.
No, yeah.
Your face was so perplexed.
The Milk Bowl. I don't know if that's a.
At what track did you say?
Thunder Road.
Is that the one that SRX was supposed to go to, but then the floods kept them from going there?
I think.
Yeah,
maybe.
I was supposed to go to that race, and then it didn't happen.
This random driver's first NASCAR start was for Norseman Racing.
Norseman Racing? I have never heard of that one.
Is it like a Thor Sports spinoff?
It was a while ago.
You say first Cup start or just first start?
First NASCAR start. This random driver did make 201 Cup starts. 300,
okay.
350 O'Reilly starts.
Has the chat gotten it yet? I feel like other than Vermont, these are not very specific clues. I guess the Norse, the whatever the team you just called.
Did you find this funny? Vermont. This random driver actually scored 2 O'Reilly Series wins.
Job well done.
They also made 7 truck starts. So
So they didn't dabble in trucks for long.
No. This random driver retired in 2017.
Okay, I think this is starting to help us.
Would you guys like the numbers?
Yeah.
I actually had to guess for a second, but no, I don't. It's not them. Okay, yes.
I mean, we got 5 clues left, so if
No,
you want to roll
it's
it.
wrong. I know it's wrong, so I'm not even going to burn it.
All right, the numbers: 09, 08, 07, 04,
Good
01,
God. Jesus.
1, 4, 7, 8, 10, 17, 21, 24, 27, 28, 34, 37, 38, 40, 42, 49, 51, 52, 56, 57, 59, 61, 65, 66, 71, 72, 73, 74, 77, 78, 86, 87, 88, 91, 93, 95, 96, 99. Danny, look up.
This is I ran out of space when you said order 66.
I know. That's a ton of numbers on here.
Dude, he ran 200 cup starts, 300 Xfinity.
Go ahead.
He had a different number in every race.
I mean, damn near. This random driver drove the OEMs of Chevrolet, Ford, Dodge, Pontiac, Toyota, Buick, and Lincoln.
I got no clue. I mean,
this random driver had his last top 10 in the Daytona 500.
What year? Can I know the year?
2005.
Oh, God. I was hoping it'd be like 26, like a race I remember vividly.
This random driver had notable sponsors like Amp Energy, Dale Jr.'s Whiskey River, Kroger, Kodak, and CLR.
This one's for you, Danny. He's got Dale Jr. in the name.
All right, well, y'all better. I got like one obvious one left. So if you guys want to just bolt whoever says it first says it.
Can you tell me those sponsors one more time?
Yes. Those sponsors were, I'm like making sure I have. Those sponsors were Amp Energy, Dale Jr.'s Whiskey River, Kroger, CLR, and Kodak. Do we have
you
a
say
guess?
Obvious? It's not going to be obvious.
I'm going to guess Regan Smith.
Regan Smith is your guess.
I don't
And you
know
guessed wrong.
That's actually a good guess because I think he is from like the Northeast somewhere.
All right. You all ready?
Could be wrong about that. Sure.
This random driver is known for what is more than likely the most well-known blunder in NASCAR history.
That's supposed to be obvious?
I mean, there's a lot of blunders.
Think of the worst.
The worst. Immediately my head went to the John West Townley wrestling match at Gateway.
Say whoever's name comes to mind.
That was a pretty big blunder.
Kevin LePage.
Correct.
Oh, good pull.
He LePaged the field.
That was
we
a
literally
pretty big blunder.
Yeah.
Use his name as a descriptor now.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. So the first thing in my mind, Eric, for some reason, was Danica Patrick attempting to wreck Landon Castle. It didn't go well. And I was thinking, but Landon never drove this many. But then I started thinking, oh, wait, the time. Who was an older guy? LePage.
If somebody said that you got Danica, you'd have to think of multiple different wrecks of Danica. With LePage, you think of one.
Yeah. Wow. What a legacy.
Hey, I mean, at least people remember him, I guess, right? I love it, Noah Coleman here. The man became a verb. Oh, I feel bad. Like, watch Kevin LePage is like a longtime viewer of the show ever since the chat chose him that one time.
Sorry,
and then
Kevin.
we're all just like,
we need to pull Kevin LePage like out of the NASCAR history books one day for an interview and just ask like what happened that day.
like, what were you thinking?
Just why, Kevin?
Why are you Kevin?
Why are
Why
you
this?
the way you are? All right, that was fun.
Good stuff.
I'm disappointed it took us that long, but I can also see why it took that long.
I
realize how little I know about Kevin LePage.
I realized how little I knew about
Talladega.
him. All I had to say in the first clue to make it the quickest one ever is the man is a verb.
I didn't even know he won twice in the O'Reilly series. So.
Nobody does anymore. One move.
Poor guy.
Oh man. Noah's on a heater right now. Kevin.
Oh gosh.
All right, Danny, what we got for this weekend at COTA in St. Petersburg?
Oh yes, for this weekend, some bunch of weekend notes. In all honesty, Jesse Love will be in the number 33 RCR Cup Series car. Joey Logano's Hand, everybody, will be on standby as relief driver for Brad Keselowski's number 6 RFK Ford, mainly because due to Brad's injury. That's a lot to go back and forth with the shifting that's going to be required. So good to have Joey Hand maybe getting back into a Cup Series car this weekend, and a good Cup Series car at that. I always felt like he was pretty underrated on these road courses, so would be curious if he got in there how he would do.
Hand.
Connor Zilisch will be driving the number 1 for General Motorsports this weekend, and Shane Van Gisbergen will be driving in JRM's number 9 car this weekend. Brent Cruz, watch for him. He'll be in a number 19 Joe Gibbs Racing O'Reilly Series car this weekend. Ross Chastain will once again be back in number 32 car for Jordan Anderson. Carson Quaffle, though, he will be racing in the 91 for DGM Racing this weekend. Dario Franchitti will be returning to the NASCAR Truck Series in the number 1 for Tricon this weekend. Is this his first time racing ever since the IndyCar accident?
I think so.
Oh yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is amazing for guys like David Land. He'll probably be down there and he'll get a chance to see some NASCAR action. They're reporting the IndyCar race and get to see Dario Franchitti back behind the wheel of something. So looking forward to how Dario does. Connor Mozak will be in number 7 truck for Spire Motorsports this weekend. Colin Braun, remember Colin Braun? He won before in the NASCAR Truck Series, driving for Roush in the number 6. He'll be racing in the 25 for Colleague Racing this weekend. And James Hinchcliffe will be racing the number 77 for Spire Motorsports this weekend. As for the races, the Cup Series race is the Duramax Grand Prix powered by Relodyne. Yeah, okay, that's a company.
Love it.
This race will be 95 laps, broken up 20 laps in stage 1, 25 laps in stage 2, and 50 laps in stage number 3. Scheduled to start at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be on Fox, and radio coverage will be on the Performance Racing Network and Sirius XM Radio. The defending winner of this race is Christopher Bell. The O'Reilly Series race will be the Focused Health 250. See, now that's an easier name. That one makes more sense. 65 laps for this one, 20 laps in stages 1 and 2, 25 laps in stage 3. Starts at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be on the CW, and you can also listen to it on the Performance Racing Network. The defending winner of this race is in the field, Connor Zilisch. The Truck Series race is the Only Bulls Green Flag 150. This is an 80-lap race. It'll be 20 laps in stage 1 and 2 and 40 laps in stage number 3. It's supposed to start at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch it on Big Fox, it says. And you can also listen to it on the NASCAR Racing Network and Sirius XM Radio. There is no defending winner. It's the very first time it has ever happened. as for the weather this weekend, we get now our weekly weather forecast from our good friend Jeff Vork. He's a certified meteorologist with WSAV down in Savannah, Georgia. So Jeff this weekend sent me a fairly lengthy, but we're going to read it all, forecast for this weekend. The Duramax Texas Grand Prix forecast. It's looking like a perfect spring-like weekend in the Austin area. A cold front moves through the area Friday morning, bringing a stretch of mild mornings in the 50s, giving way to warm, sunny afternoons in the 80s. Low clouds and fog are expected Sunday morning, but expect sunshine and daytime heating to burn that off by mid-morning. Only implication would be to any morning flights into Austin Bergstrom International Airport, which I will say you can fly to COTA in one day and come back. I've done that before. So
the track is right next to the airport.
It is. It only took 15 minutes. In fact, I was there too early to pick up my credential. That's how fast we got there. Winds will still be out of the southeast at around 10 miles per hour, gusts around 20 to 25 miles per hour possible during the afternoons, but it should not be a major factor, but could make the S's more treacherous than usual. For trucks and IndyCar in St. Petersburg, he's also got some information on that. Trucks will be contending with scattered showers and storms along a frontal boundary Saturday. Passing showers are possible Friday, but practice and qualifying shouldn't have any major issues. Rain chances are certainly higher in the morning hours, but once the cold front clears, rain chances come down the later in the afternoon as the afternoon progresses. Delays and or a wet weather start are in play, but the day does not look like a washout by any means. However, with them being standalone, not sure how they'll manage it. Weather improves for Sunday as rain chances drop. Expect a mild and typically humid Florida day under a mix of sun and clouds. Winds will still be out of the northeast, he says. And that is our weather forecast from our good pal, Jeff Vork, meteorologist, WSAV in Savannah, Georgia.
We have a new points leader.
Oh,
Eric turns into Palpatine real quick there.
Yep.
We're under a blanket, though.
Yeah, Eric's at 45. I'm -2. Danny -7. Chat is last, -9, which you know what that means. Check. It's the first pick, and that is for the Truck Series.
This is not the week to have the last pick, honestly.
Or the second to last.
Yeah.
At this rate, you and me are kind of screwed this week.
Yep.
It didn't take me long to write down my picks. It's just I know who I want first. Probably won't be there. But
Wow. They're kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Like usually if they have one or two of the others, we can kind of like dance around it of like, oh, this person might not be on my radar or my big board, but
Trucks is definitely the hardest one to pick this weekend.
I would agree.
That's a lot of ones. Oh man. Wait, is Heim in this race?
Not to my knowledge.
I didn't think he was.
Let me double check. I don't think so.
Who is the one?
Where's my
I thought it was Dario.
Yeah, the one is Frank Keeney. The 5 is Adam Andretti. So, all right, I want to go Dario.
Give him Dario. That's who they're going with.
Okay.
Pretty bold.
That's one
I
word.
like it.
I'm actually gonna go. Gosh, I'm torn between these two. I'm gonna go with who I actually wrote down as my number 2. I'm gonna go Ty Majeski on this one.
Majeski. All right. Well, then I'm gonna go with my number 1 on my big board, and I'm gonna go Connor Mosak.
Ooh, that's an interesting pick.
I'll be curious if Eric takes who was my number 1. So far, who originally has number 1 has not been taken.
I'm just going to go with the truck I believe in. I'll take Honeycutt.
All right.
I chose to pass on him, but
Was Honeycutt your number 1?
no, Lane Riggs was my number 1, but I chose to pass on Lane Riggs.
Yeah, I had Ruggiero as my number 2. He's actually a pretty good road racer.
Yeah, he is.
All right. Who's gonna win the O'Reilly race? I already know my top 2 on my big board are gonna be gone by the time that we get to me.
This may go either way, but right now
I think they're going dilly dilly. It's Zilly.
They are. They're going back-to-back number ones, I think. Yep. It's running away. It's Zilish. Give him Connor Zilish.
All right.
Which means give me SVG.
I'm shocked. You know what? I'll go. I don't think my last one was overly bold, but it was bold enough for a lot of people. Give me Brett Cruz.
I like that.
You want bold?
Yeah, give me bold.
Hold on, wait. Let me double check one thing on the entry list.
He's about to pick someone who's not even in the race.
William Sawalich.
Ooh, that is bold. I like it.
That's juicy.
I see
Something you could really
green.
sink into your teeth into.
I envy the audio audience getting to hear that tonight or tomorrow for the.
I know. I can't believe you updated that soundboard. I don't even know who that was. I don't even know what that clip was from.
No, for real. Go back to that voice and then say, I see trees of green.
Oh, you think I'm trying to do a Louis Armstrong?
Oh, yeah. Damn, I didn't even think about that part.
No,
yeah.
I'm not even gonna try that. He has a voice that cannot be.
You're pretty close to it there.
It'd be less offensive than the Japanese cover. If you've ever seen that video.
Gosh, yeah.
I have not.
I'll show it to you after this.
Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Okay.
Speaking of bad, who's gonna suck?
Well, chat's first on that one.
Chat, don't let us down. Give us a funny one.
First one I see is 11.
I said SVG. Someone said SVG. I think they took SVG.
Actually, it is Hamlin. They're going Hamlin to suck.
Oh, okay. Next time we should. Whoever the first person to put something in gets to pick it for the whole show.
That's deviously evil.
We should do that for the all-star race weekend. It's first person to put something in the chat gets to be the.
11 is pretty overwhelming. I haven't paid attention. I guess his average finish must be bad here. I haven't really paid attention.
He's not great at road courses.
No bueno.
So Hamlin to suck for them. I'm just going to take the low-hanging fruit of this team that Hamlin owns, Riley Herbst.
I wouldn't have believed myself 5 years ago after watching this race in person that I'm going to say Austin Cindric.
Yeah, Cindric's not. Yeah, Cindric's kind of meh. I would have taken the pick of Brad Keselowski, but if he gets out of the car for Joey Hand, then he might actually give us something. It might be good. So I'll go Ty Dillon. Sorry, Ty.
Hey, he came second in the in-season tournament last year. Put some respect on his name.
He also got right reared at COTA last time they were there.
Yeah. This next one's more fun. Cup underdog.
I like this one. Now we just wait.
Kuwait.
Did you say Kuwait? Like over in the Middle East?
Yeah.
Exactly what I said. Kind of all over the place.
Updating my picks.
I think 88 is what I see the most. So they're going to go Connor Zilish underdog.
Going Zilish.
You can't pick him to win.
Wait, that's crazy. They burned their underdog pick on him. Wow, that's crazy.
My underdog is Kyle Busch. I thought he was going to win this race last year.
Great minds think alike, Danny. Kyle Busch.
Shoot, I'll throw your boy a bone. I'll go Alex Bowman.
He nearly won this race the second time they went there.
Yeah.
Been pretty consistent there too, so not a bad one. So all that leaves.
He's the only other person besides SVG to win at Chicago Street Course.
So who wins this weekend, chat? I feel like I already know who they're going to pick.
Yeah, it's SVG.
Yeah.
I took all 2 seconds.
Shocker.
Okay, so there's no SVG. I don't have enough confidence in Connor Zilish in the Cup Series just yet to be being that bold. But who I do have a lot of confidence in is the fact that last year's winner won 3 races in a row, and this year's winner could also win 3 races in a row. I'm going 2311's premier driver, Tyler Reddick, to potentially get 3 wins in a row. Although that would ruin a prediction of mine, but I'm going to have to go with Tyler Reddick to win.
Might be in the same vein of ruining predictions. You know what? I'm going to be bold all weekend. I'll go Connor Zilich. I'll do it. Dude, he was the fastest car on track before he got taken out last year.
Oh, yeah. He had some good laps.
So
15th.
But he was making his way up. I'll be bold. I'll be bold. If I get burned, I got a long season to build it up. I don't have to wait till race 26 to make it to the front. I got all the way to the end of the year. We got time.
I think all good picks. I know I like Zilich for a top 5 this week. I do. I think I was looking it up. He's gone head to head against SVG 4 times on road courses in the O'Reilly series, and he's beaten him 3 out of the 4. Granted, one of those was he punted him at Watkins Glen, but the one loss, SVG had to use him up at Chicago. So, just saying,
this could be one of the most fun on track rivalries in a long time.
Yeah,
I am going to predict that Christopher Bell goes back to back at COTA.
There's a real shot that we could go 1, 2, 3, 4 this week.
Yeah. Well, last year it was Bell, Byron, Reddick, who coincidentally are the 3 most recent COTA winners in that order. So if you're good here once, you're good here every year, it seems. Bowman's been that way. So yeah, we'll see.
So those are our picks. Real quick, just let everybody know where we'll be next week. Eric's channel, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah. But Danny,
we can go back to the super chats to end the show.
Yeah, super chat cool down lap.
See how well StreamYard does. It'll probably make me freeze up at some point. It's about due for another one.
Where were we at last time with Joshua?
I was here. I got it.
We're picking up on Joshua Boston.
We're here actually.
And, he gave $20. Appreciate that, Joshua. Time to either overhaul the All-Star race to include only past winners / champs and a fan vote winner announced post-race the week before if there is no open, or just make it a full-on points race. This year's format sucks. Yeah, I think the consensus is it doesn't sound like an All-Star race to me and a lot of other people. Joshua Boston, again, very generous. Next 2 are all from Joshua. Appreciate $5. Well, I guess posting a super chat 2 hours before showtime doesn't work out. Note to self, post them at least an hour before showtime. Got it.
Well, we got his member chat was the first one we showed, so I don't know which one he's talking about.
Another one from Joshua. And can Reddick make history and win the first 3 opening races of the season? We shall see at COTA for the Duramax Grand Prix only on Fox and PRN. Hey, I ended up picking him, so... for predictions, I would hate it, but for picks, I would love it. AJT, appreciate $10 from you. O'Reilly was the best race. When Creed won, I screamed so loud I had no voice the next day. The All-Star race format is confusing as always, and we got Carson, the impersonator, Hocevar before GTA 6.
I kind of like the Intimidente that they've been saying this week.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good tie-in.
Blake Feynman, appreciate the $4.99 from you. Carson Hocevar, the new Ernie Irvan, fun race listed on PRN on the way home from Fort Wayne. Ernie Irvan was a very, very underrated racer in his time.
Swervin' Irvin versus Hurricane Hocevar. They both got good alliterative nicknames.
Carson's got a long way to go. Irvin could have beat Dale.
Yeah.
If he didn't get hurt.
Are we done Ernie as a random driver? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
He's coming one day.
Write that down.
Casey Rose, appreciate the $5 from you. I see Zilich contending for the win the most at the Glen due to his success. He has beaten SVG every time they were both on track there.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Napa Racing fan, appreciate $10 from you. Second, Sheldon finally won with arms wide open. He weathered the storm, took one last breath in the 3, torn by RC and Petrie. He sacrificed leaving RCR to go in. Creed took us higher by winning one race.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good super chat.
That was the most songs you could have worked into that super chat. I love that. Napa Racing fan of another $2 from you. Poetic how Creed won after Hill wrecked himself. Yes, that was very, very funny how that all worked out. Hunter Nixon Fishing, always good to hear from you, man. $4.99, appreciate that. Coors, at least drink a real beer, Sheldon. Hashtag Modelo.
Well, that was pretty damn good.
David Bell, good to hear from you, sir. Appreciate $10. Hope you have a great time at COTA, Eric. Wishing you, man, a great weekend. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. And David, of course, become a member of the NWP Superfans once again. Appreciate that. Jeffrey King, appreciate $2 from you. Keelan Harvick to Toyota is a choke on Hendrick Motorsports. Yeah, definitely caught a lot of people off guard. People thinking he would go the Hendrick route, but nope. We're going to see him at least start up Toyota. But thing is, I'm not going to get too attached to that because how many guys have we seen start with Toyota, but they don't end up there? You know.
You're ready to speak Ty Gibbs, buddy.
And appreciate another $2 from you, Jeffrey. If I could, I'd fund y'all to race at Dover. Again, we're all in the All-Star race, guys. Jeffrey King, appreciate another $5 from you. Ford in O'Reilly is the Hawaiian bird that went extinct calling for a mate.
If you've heard that video, it's haunting.
Oh God, I feel sad. That sounds sad. I don't know the reference.
It does sound sad. I'm a bear. I don't get the reference, but it sounds sad.
It's sad.
Jeffrey King, another $2 from you. I'm not in a full-time ride. It's a sin or something. It is.
Confess.
Somebody needs to go to a church and ask Jesus for repentance. Chase Fan, appreciate the $5 from you. First NASCAR weekend with Pit Pass. Got Chase's autograph right before the rain. Got Junior's autograph. Got to talk to Junior a bit. Shook his hand. That sounds like a fantastic weekend, man. Glad you had a great time.
Nice.
NWP Pick Monkey, appreciate $2. Been busy this year. Happy to be live tonight. We're glad you can make it, Pick Monkey. Glad to see you back.
Love seeing the Pick Monkey.
Justin Drake, appreciate $10. Which was a better feeling for everyone this weekend? Seeing the United States sweep Cannon hockey was pretty awesome, and get 2 gold medals, or win that beautiful, innocent Melon Man wrecked Austin Hill. Well, I'll be honest. I went to East Tennessee and we stayed at a bed and breakfast in the town I grew up in. We went and saw some of my family. So I got to watch the hockey game live from our hotel room, but I was actually out at dinner with my family and then come back to the bed and breakfast and found out that Sheldon Creed had won that way. So I didn't get to experience that one live, sadly.
Didn't get the elation.
I don't know if you saw, I had a few Canadians mad at me for doing my red, white, and better than you routine.
I mean, anyone else would be mad if they had to live in that much snow majority of the year.
It's tough.
They're pretty chill though. I like Canadians. They're pretty
Is that
cool.
a pun?
I didn't mean it to be, but it can be.
Calypso, $2. Appreciate it. Gabehart didn't sell that data. It was I who did it.
I knew it
was. Jeffrey King, appreciate $2. Gabehart was the information. He won many races. Sorry, I thought that was going a different direction. But yes, he did win many races. He already knew a lot before that too. Van Boney Sports, appreciate the $5 from you. A long-time listener, first-time super chat. Appreciate that, Van Boney. Listening about people running hot laps while I run really slow laps on my Zamboni. Always a good time. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty funny. Cool. So nice. I guess, they're out there rocking the Zamboni a lot.
That's sounds badass. Pretty chill. Get it? Chill. I can do puns too, Jarrett.
He's a dad. He's allowed to make dad jokes. We are not yet.
It just naturally comes to me that way. Yes.
Bake the Snake, appreciate the $5 from you. NASCAR returns to Nashville Fairgrounds. Karen's Homer Simpson head exploding meme. Calypso, appreciate another $2 from you. All-star format idea. Who finishes that novel first?
Hey, you know what? Ask NASCAR Chasm. He's taking the mantle from me on that one.
Yeah, he has. Okay. He's got you off the hook.
You have a new victim. Jeffrey King, appreciate the $2 from you. Heim in the 48 would cook up wins. Everyone in the 48 would cook up wins, I guess, to most people. I'm driving the 48 for one race next season.
This is the All-Star race. We're all in it.
Yep. Jeffrey King, appreciate the $2 from you. CW needs to buy Fox's spring portion. CW is going to need a lot more money behind them before they can do that. Indy Carson, appreciate the $2 from you. Good to see you. Hey, NWP, can't wait till IndyCar this weekend. Of course you can't. But appreciate the next $10 from you. Races and some trucks. Awesome finish with my favorite driver winning, Chandler Smith. Not afraid to share his love for good Atlanta. Showed Amazon Prime needs to broadcast the truck series instead of Fox. Another $10 from you. Races and some. O'Reilly at Daytona, or is it over the Austin Hill? Still boring us winning almost every pack race. Atlanta, though, showed Sheldon Creed is definitely our hero beating Austin Hill. Let's go ahead and take Indy Carson's next one, and we'll come back to the other one because they're so close together. Appreciate another $10 from Indy Carson. Races and some. Cup, I never thought I would ever see Michael Jordan win the Daytona 500 after the lawsuit. Cup guys wreck way too much than the trucks in O'Reilly at Atlanta. MJ was there, though, and won again. Appreciate your support, Indy Carson. You may not be supporting NASCAR too much, but you're always supporting us, and we do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Deli the Kid, appreciate the $2 from you. Bowman Gray should host the All-Star Race of Heats. Agreed. I think I said it,
Sure.
I don't want to deal with the risk of snow necessarily for the Clash, but I would love Bowman Gray as the All-Star race. I really would. In the spring/summertime, I would love that as the All-Star race. JQ, appreciate you being a member for 5 months. CW ad, Zilly versus Willie versus SVG Lee.
I like it.
Napa Racing fan, appreciate $2 from you. Kyle Busch, kids these days. That was a good quote. Matthew Medina, appreciate the $2 from you. Juicy Eric, please do it again. I don't get the context, sadly.
It was earlier.
I don't even know what voice I did a Louis Armstrong impression.
Oh,
I've not done that again. No, that's okay.
was it that one?
Juicy.
Yeah, it was more like a Yoda Kermit the Frog hybrid. Something like that. Yeah.
Napa Racing fan, appreciate $2. Jay McMurray, Arby's has fish. They do have fish. They have fish sandwich.
I'm getting nothing but Arby's ads on YouTube these days. They are spending a fortune plastering
They have been
their logo around
They've been
NASCAR.
investing a lot.
All I think of Arby's is Moonhead. Arby's, we got beef, mother effers. That's all I think. Like, I haven't been to an Arby's in over a decade. I'm not going to change that anytime soon either.
Alex, appreciate the $5. And this one kind of makes me mad. Did you hear of Dollywood's locomotives converting to oil this season? Yes, it was just announced yesterday. Dollywood has officially converted engine number 70, named Cinderella. The cinder part meaning the cinders of coal that are literally shot out of the black smoke of a coal-powered steam locomotive has now been converted to run off of oil. Now, historically, yes, the engines did run off of burning oil when they ran on the Yukon in Alaska, but I love the aspect of going to Dollywood and seeing a nostalgic coal-powered steam locomotive, that beautiful black plume of smoke coming out of it. That's just beautiful. So now it's no longer the black smoke is not a thing because it's not going to be powered by burning coal anymore. And they're in the process of converting 192 Klondike Katie. She's also going to become an oil burner. Disney World, Magic Kingdom, their trains do run off of oil as well. My biggest complaint about an oil running steam locomotive, they smell bad in my opinion. I think the smell of the burning oil smells worse than the smell of the coal in my opinion. So I'm not a fan of this move, Dollywood, but it is what it is. I know, like, Union Pacific's Big Boy 4014. It runs off of oil, but also they take that thing all over the country. It makes a little bit more sense to do that. The oil is going to be more readily available. But I mean, come on, Dollywood, your train trip is like 20 minutes each time. I don't know. There's also environmental reasons they got to do this because they in dry times there's a possibility of a flaming cinder could ignite something. So that's another big reason that they did this. So when they're in burn bans in the Smoky Mountains, they can still run the train by doing this. So there are good things about it. There are bad things about it. I'm just going to miss the nostalgic, black smoke of the steam locomotive as it goes through.
Jarrett, what would you do for a Klondike Katie?
I don't know. All I heard in the last few minutes is that the United States is probably going to invade Dollywood soon because there's oil there.
Yes. But thank you, Alex. Elijah, appreciate $2 from you. As a weather nerd, I love the nickname Hurricane Hocevar. It is very, very good.
Shout out to Lee. They need to make sure they're giving Lee Diffie the credit for that, though, because I believe he's the one who started it.
Mike
Joy has sort of adopted it, and I'm like, you go for it, Mike, but pay the credit where credit was due.
Evergreen Mountain, appreciate the $5 from you. I watched both Creed movies, and while I enjoyed the story, the boxing stuff, and Old Rocky, I was confused because I never once saw Sheldon Creed.
I get your money's back. He's uncredited, unfortunately.
I have not seen Creed 3, but all the other ones I saw were good, and of course, love all the Rocky movies as well. Seabath, I appreciate the $5 from you. Although a dumb move, Carson's driving is what brings new fans in the sport. NASCAR, you got a future superstar in your hands, and I do agree. There are a lot of people who are starting to see something of what they missed in NASCAR in Carson Hocevar.
Sure.
Yeah.
West Virginia, appreciate the $9.99 from you. Not only is Heim going to win a race as part-time driver before Ty does as a full-time, I wouldn't be surprised if Brent Cruz got a cup win before Ty Gibbs. That is bold right there.
That's a bold one. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Because right now, I don't see a path for Brent Cruz to get a Cup Series opportunity like that right now.
I mean, Ty Gibbs this weekend at COTA could be in the mix if all goes well. You never know.
He will not be in the mix.
He could be in the mix. He's probably not going to win, but he was in the mix at Mexico.
He will not be in the mix.
All right, I'm trying to throw him a bone here, man. He's had a rough PR day. I'm just trying to throw Ty something he can chew on. Doing my best.
He can go to Calypso. $2. Appreciate it, Calypso. You forget NASCAR Chasm only count if 999 more people do it.
These more souls.
Napa Racing fan, appreciate you being the last super chat we have unless something else happens. Appreciate the $2 from you. Dumbest all-star race format ever for 2026 Dover. Yeah, we're not necessarily a huge fan of it.
Anticlimactic, I would put it that way. Is it the dumbest? Probably not, but it is anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Oh, this.
Yeah, next week.
Pew, 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 on pew, Eric's channel next weekend, live Wednesday, March 4th, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be breaking everything that happened down from the road courses this weekend, and then we're going to be getting you set up for the West Coast swing. Does the West Coast swing kind of start now? I mean, we're going west of Texas, and
west of the Mississippi
here. We're getting the wind up right now.
The pit stop.
This is the middle ground.
Yeah.
And appreciate the $5 coming in from Mr. David Bell. Great podcast, man. Appreciate you. Great super chat, sir.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Fun night.
That's all we got.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, crap. I didn't hit the right.
Drivers! Start your engines!
See plenty of carnage. Full head on them. Wound up. Yeehaw, boys. Holy. It's a junkyard. Spend too much time hitting people. Chill. Second. No gas. Gotta hang top here. Don't overdrive. Just let me do my job. 10 times. I don't care if I wreck the whole field. I'm over him. He's just a moron. That was an absolute bullshit. Not clear. Awesome. I tell you, Mama ain't raising no. What the f*** are you doing out here? People are saying, just racing like idiots. I don't care. Just let me drive. What is he doing? This is embarrassing. What a clown show.
Did you ever think you would see that?